What's up? What's up? It's the Arthur Moats Experience with Deke. I'm Arthur Moats, and that's my main man, Deke.
What's good, bro?
Man, life's good. How you, man?
Can't complain at all.
Dripped out. Hey, I was gonna say too, man. You looking real snazzy over here. If you bump your computer to the right a little bit, they gonna get you all the way with your fit. Heck yeah, there you go. There you go. Solid. My dog, man. But what's the word with you, man?
Not too much. Yeah. I'm doing good.
Yeah, I like it.
A little cold.
I like it.
Getting by.
Hey, well, I will say this, man. Let's see. We had a not championship, semifinals game last night. Get a chance to tap in on that or anything, man?
I did. Yeah, I definitely did. It was a pretty good game.
Man, I thought so.
Almost went overtime. If it wasn't for Drew Aller throwing that pick at the end and giving Notre Dame, I wouldn't say an easy field goal, but really good field goal position or field position for that game-winning field goal that they kicked.
Nah, facts on that, man.
That's a tough one for me. That's two teams I don't really like.
Well, shoot, I was over here sitting here thinking the same way when watching the game. I'm like, I'm trying to be invested. I'm trying to act like I really, really have like a vested interest in this, but both of these teams just, to me, I know they got dope fan bases though, so respect to the fans out there for both teams, but yeah, it just wasn't my vibe, man.
Yeah, either Notre Dame or Penn State's going to the national championship. That's not good. That's not good for a Pitt fan.
It don't hit right.
Even though obviously Penn State's a bigger rival for Pitt.
Yeah.
Notre Dame's up there. Maybe not in terms of like big time rivalry. We play Notre Dame here or there on occasion.
Wait, because you went out to the joint, yeah.
Like Notre Dame's Duke though. Everyone
yeah.
No matter what team you're a fan of, no one really messes with them like that.
Man,
unless
do it for
you
Rudy,
are a
bro.
fan of them.
Do it for Rudy, man. What would Rudy want?
And on the other side, you got Texas Ohio State tonight.
I think that's the game. That's the one I'm ready for.
Yeah, it's gonna be dope. I mean, both teams are really sick.
Mm-hmm.
Both teams are real sick. So we'll see.
But shoot, also been on the front end of this thing. Gotta shout out the homie. I don't know if you saw the news. It was about 11:30 last night Eastern Standard Time. But the homie TG, Terrence Garvin, man, it's officially official now. He is the defensive coordinator for Norfolk State University with the homie head coach Mike Vick, man. Shout out to the dog. Obviously, I already know he rocks with us on the show heavy. He been teasing at it, man. This dude behind the scenes been going through call after call, text after text. Deke seeing some of it as well, man. But my guy, it's official now, man. So shout out to TG, man. Y'all already know, man, how we rock and how we feel about the homie, man. So y'all show us some love whenever y'all see it, man, or even on the social medias and stuff like that as well, man. Shout out to the homie, though, baby.
Congratulations to TG.
Seriously, man.
That's going to be awesome.
Bro, I was like, man, you going from Florida Memorial to Norfolk State with Mike Vick? Oh, boy.
It's a big deal.
This is big.
And I said that to him whenever he was here, what was it, like a week or two ago?
Yeah.
Like, hey, man, like that's, there's going to be a lot of publicity, a lot of eyes on that program. You do your thing, you could be moving up the coaching ranks.
No, absolutely, man. And we always said, man, like, all you need is opportunity, man. If you're prepared and the opportunity hits, though, that's how you can have that chance to really take off with this day, man. So, I mean, just knowing him, man, hearing, his coaching journey and stuff like that, man, it's really, really like one of the ones I'm like, yo, that's my dog. I wish I could go to sleep. I couldn't even go to sleep when I seen the. It's like, yo, it's a wrap. It's up there, go 1 in the morning. Hypersec for my dog, man. But it was good to see my man winning, man. That's why everybody winning, man. That's how it's supposed to be. You winning, TG winning, your boy winning, and need his black and gold to take care of some winning too on Saturday, man. Come on, baby. We need it now. We need it, Deke. Talk to me, baby.
We got a lot to talk about with that.
We do. We definitely do, man. We definitely do. So let me get this then on the front end, Deke. I'm going to get it on the front end because I'll forget. So today's show is brought to you by DraftKings Sportsbook, the top-rated sportsbooking app in all of North America. You already know, safe, secure, reliable, and when we talking about them, I got the promo code for you, baby, and it's that playoff special. Why? Because that wild card round is going on, so what better way to add to your watching activities than by tapping in with DraftKings. For the new customers, when you download the app, use that first, you put that first deposit of $5, you'll get $200 back in bonus bets instantly with the promo code Moats. It is a dope concept. You can't go wrong with it, but at the same time, you might get lost in the sauce. Might develop a gambling problem. It's like that sometimes. And if you're in New York, you see it's the number that you could text. But for everybody else, the number to dial is 1-800-GAMBLER. I said 1-800-GAMBLER. I said you better call 1-800-GAMBLER. Now, back to regular schedule programming. Drop it in the comment section where you're tuning in from, so that way we can give those big boy shout outs to start today's show. And of course, don't forget to hit that like button one time for the culture and subscribe if you are new to the channel. Let's get it, baby. Let's get it, Deke.
NML Finesse 410 tuned in from behind enemy lines.
Ooh.
410. I'm at the bank Saturday. Steelers are undefeated. All the games I went to live. And Moats. Got the gifts, man. Thanks.
Hey, nah,
Appreciate
respect
it.
to you, baby. Respect to you. Talk to him, Deke. Absolutely.
Tyler Candelaria tuning in from
Shout out to the homie Tyler.
Buffalo.
Mm-hmm.
Come on, bro.
Hey, man, Tyler part of the gang, man. Tyler be doing his thing, but he does live in the rough buff, baby. But it's like that. It's like that. But he rocking black and gold. He rocked the black and gold.
How'd that happen?
Hey, man. Well, sure, I got the backstory because, I've known him since I was in Buffalo. You know how that
Is he
goes.
from there?
Yeah, actually, man. Lives up in the area, man. Yeah. And from there, man, has been a Steelers fan, but still rocks out with the Bills content as well.
Man.
You know how, man, if you live in Buffalo, bro, how can you not like Bills, bro? If you live in the city, but he's a Steelers fan. He really understands how I feel.
Well, I was going to say.
That's why I like him so much. I'm like, yo, he gets it.
No wonder he's part of the
Yes,
staff.
he gets it. He gets it. He understands where we at, man.
Man, I didn't know that. Third Gen Blake from the 805 Paso Robles, California.
Shout out.
Wine country.
That good wine over there too, man.
Jace Roman, the 512 ATX.
Hey, shout out, baby. Let's get it. I like that.
James Williams, Yonkers, New York,
Man.
914.
Let me tap in real quick, man, because I got the homie Nick Bit in the 401 back in the Ocean State. Shout out to the Ocean State, man. Then from there, we got Carson McCormick in the 856 Jersey, Vic 101 in Greenville, South Carolina, and James Williams in the 914 Yonkers, New York, showing love to the Jersey as well. And I appreciate you for shouting out the Jersey. Try to break out the, fire threats for the playoffs. All the kids got jerseys on today, Deke. Steelers jerseys, might I add. I just put that clarification out there. Steelers jerseys, but all the kids, they broke out their Steelers jerseys. I said, ooh, that's the vibe today. Let me go get on me something nice real quick, man. So, yeah, you would be proud, Deke. It was a house of unification. All black and gold were solid-ish. Yeah.
Solid-ish.
Yeah, it was all
What does that
black. It was all black and gold with some Bills accessories that I seen leaving out the house, bro. I ain't even gonna lie to you, bro.
Damn.
Baby girl, she woke up this morning. She was like, Dad, I got the 55 daddy jersey on. You know what I mean? Like, I was like, oh, all right. I was like, what water bottle is that? Bills. God. But that's my Buffalo baby. She was born up there, so we give her a pass. G, though, you'd have been happy with G. G was Steelers head to toe. KK Steelers head to toe. Was solid. Yeah.
So they're rooting for the Broncos.
No, they ain't say that. Now, that's definitely not what they said. No. Why would you want to root for the Broncos, D? Why would you want to do that, man? That don't sound like a good idea.
I think that's better for the Steelers.
How?
Right?
I don't even see how that even works.
Think from a statistical standpoint.
I do not see how that even works, man. That don't even sound good.
The odds makers,
No.
the stats would say Steelers have a better chance to win against the Broncos and the Bills.
When would you ever see the Broncos?
The AFC Championship at home.
Come on, man.
That would be the path.
By the time we get there, we got way bigger fish to worry about, man.
I'm definitely going to that game.
I'll
tell you that.
We got way bigger fish to worry about, man.
Championship game against the Broncos.
Way bigger fish to worry about. All right.
So I think it would be Broncos beat the Bills, then the Broncos go up against the Chiefs.
You know what I'm saying?
And then the Broncos upset the Chiefs. And then we beat the Ravens, and then we face the winner of
Chargers,
Texans, Chargers. Yeah.
We got a lot that has to take place, man. Just one step at a time, bro. Before we get to like anti-Bills, we got to get out of this weekend first, man. All
Hey,
right.
you brought it up.
I didn't bring it up. You brought it up. You said, "Oh, so they were rooting for the Broncos." I was like, "How did we get there?"
Well, you brought up the Bills accessories.
No, but what does that got to do with rooting for the
And
Broncos?
G and KK
though?
don't have the Bills
Why-
accessories, so I'm just
why
thinking
would
like,
people
okay,
wanna
are they,
root for the Broncos?
are they full on the Steelers?
That's not
with
nice.
this wild card weekend.
That is
to
not
the point where they
nice.
would root for the Broncos.
Listen,
to take out the Bills
that's not
and
okay,
help the
man.
Steelers?
That's not okay.
I didn't know. I was just asking.
Jeez, man. But anywho, everything is good though, man. Everything is good. But we do actually have plenty to talk about, man, to catch up on. So I guess where do we want to start from? Actually, let me just get this one super out the way real quick. I do see the homie Let's Go UW. Shout out to Let's Go UW on the early vibe, man. Throwing a super in here, man. Let me read you real quick. All right, so Let's Go UW says, if Drew Allen gets drafted, whoever drafts him is getting fired shortly afterwards. He is another Zach Wilson.
I'm surprised. Let's go UW botched up his name there. It's
I know it's Drew
Aller.
Aller, yeah.
Let's go UW, big college football guy.
Mm-hmm.
Must have just been autocorrect.
Yeah, you know how it goes sometimes, man. He was a little, in the zone right there. But yeah, I
that
would
was
agree,
terrible.
man.
That was atrocious.
Did you
Terrible
hear?
throw.
Did you hear the commentator earlier today? He was like, "Yeah, Drew Allen is everything you want in a franchise quarterback." Who said that?
I'll tell you what, he has looked pretty decent this year.
All right, now, all right, we about to do it.
What?
Y'all gonna make the mistake again?
No.
I was about to say. I feel like
I haven't been sold on. I just think he's
Okay.
actually played pretty good this year as a whole. But yeah, not to the point where I'm drafting him first round. He's the franchise. He's not even going to go pro after this year. Anyway.
Right? They say he was coming back. Yeah, but when I compare it, I'm just like, I didn't see that. I'm not saying he's the Carson Beck, but I'm like the same way people at times have talked about Carson Beck, and now you're seeing him getting ready to hit in that transfer portal. I'm like,
I saw that.
Yeah, I'm like, I don't see
it's
that.
probably a good idea whenever you think
Absolutely.
about it with the injury.
Yeah, absolutely,
He's not
man.
going to be able to really show out in some of these
Well, the young kid
pre-draft programs
and the
pre-draft
young
workout
kid
stuff.
Well, I was gonna say, and that young kid that took over for him and played in the game, he's gonna get the reins all the next season. So it's not like you're gonna be able to sit there and really get a chance to compete with him.
He could go back to Georgia though, right?
They got the freshman there. That's the dude.
So that guy that's just been playing,
Yeah.
you think they're just going to give it to him?
Yeah, that's what he got in because Carson Beck got hurt, but he was like a top recruit, 5-star, and all the other stuff.
I didn't watch the Georgia Notre Dame game. Did he play good?
I didn't watch enough of it.
Okay.
I know when he came in relief, he looked really good when Carson Beck first got hurt in the game before that, though.
The second half.
Yeah, I'm about to say he looked really good, and it was more so the passing attack, and that was why people were even more optimistic about Georgia going into that game against Notre Dame, because they said this kid can actually throw the ball and reads defenses and looks good as a freshman. So that's why I'm like, Carson Beck, if you're not going to have any offseason to actually compete against this kid, and they've already seen him in 2 massive games, it's just going to be an uphill battle for you. So I think that was another part of why our fresh scenery could help him out too, man.
Yeah, I think they were saying Beck's timeline is late March.
Mm-hmm.
He'll be back full. Because that's the thing with Beck.
Because is that
I'll be
back
honest,
throwing full, or
I
is
don't
that
know. I have
back
no
fully
clue.
healthy? Because you know what I'm saying.
I have
like,
no clue. I have no clue. But the thing with Beck is, it's interesting, is if you actually look at his season, it's actually probably in the top half, probably even in the top like 20% of quarterbacks across college football. It's just that the expectations were so high for him because we're talking about him being the number 1 overall pick. I think he still had like 26, 28 touchdowns, 12 picks. He's played bad in big spots, but I mean, I think he's still one of the best college football quarterbacks. Like comparing Drew Aller to Carson Beck, I'd be taking Carson Beck all day.
Yeah,
you know?
I'm with you. I would definitely do the same thing, man. I think just for Carson, man, we've seen him in bigger moments. I've seen him make bigger plays in these big moments. But I just think it's a consistency issue, and that's what the question is with a lot of these dudes that come into the league. Heck, we're even seeing it with guys that have been in the league forever. Whether you're talking Rodgers, whether you're talking Russ. Dudes that have shown it at multiple times this season, but when you're talking about is it a week to week and it's always the exact same, we're even seeing with those guys that it's still very challenging to make it consistent each and every time, because not only is it on that player as an individual, but it's also on the pieces around them. So as their skills develop, whether they have certain limitations in certain places, that's still going to show up or sometimes get magnified if you're in a wrong or a bad situation. And Justin Fields was kind of that example. When you look at him in Chicago, not enough around him to really help him out. Whereas you bring him to Pittsburgh and we're like, oh, you see how he's able to have success here because of how we're insulating him around him and stuff like that.
Yeah.
No, I like it, baby. I like it, man. So shoot, let's tap in on this first topic, man. We right out the gate with it. You already know to hit that like button one time for the culture and subscribe. If you are new to the channel, man, first thing we're going to talk about is this here Pittsburgh Steelers versus Baltimore Ratbirds matchup, man. How my dog feeling over there?
Am I the only one out here that's secretly feeling good about this?
I would hope you are. Well, hey, look, why wouldn't you be feeling good about it?
I get why on paper we're underdogs.
Mm-hmm.
I get why a lot of people are poo-pooing us right now with this 0-4 streak that we're on, and the offense is reverting back to the Matt Canada days with not being able to put up more than 17 points over this stretch.
That is where we at right now, huh?
But, I mean, we're not too far removed from going into that second Ravens game where we were talking about how bad Lamar is against the Steelers.
Yeah.
And how much the Steelers have dominated the Ravens over the last 10. I think it was, at that point, it was 9 games. We were 8-1 over the last 9 games.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, before that, it was like 2-3 weeks before that second Ravens game. And the first one, we actually beat them 18-16. And, you know, a couple games after that, we're sitting at 10-3, talking about ourselves being Super Bowl contenders. So, like, we're only a month and a half removed from that time period and some of this context that I'm bringing up here. Like, I don't think it's completely irrelevant, especially when you also multiply or add to it Lamar's playoff record and what he's done in the playoffs. Like, are we just going to completely overlook that? Like, would anyone be surprised if he doesn't have a good game in the playoffs here?
Historically, he hasn't been the best.
Historically, he hasn't been good against the Steelers either. So why would I be surprised if we figure out something for him? And the third game we play him in this Ravens team this year. And typically in those games, like whenever division rivals face off against the playoffs, they're going to be tight just because of the familiarity.
Mm-hmm.
And if you look back on that second Ravens game, Lamar did have his best game against us. Threw 3 touchdowns, looked pretty comfortable. We were missing like half our defense.
No,
we were missing 3 of our 4 starters in the secondary. Like, I was more concerned after that Eagles-Ravens game, like that sequence, I was more concerned about our defense. I think our defense was looking pretty shoddy, but there were some injuries. Like the offense,
especially on the back end too.
Because the offense was moving the ball in both those games. We just had really bad turnovers, and then the defense wasn't able to get off the field. And the other team's offense, whether it was the Eagles or the Ravens, were eating up all the time possessions. We weren't able to really get in the flow on offense like that. I think Chiefs-Bengals game and, you know, our offensive game plan and how that took place, I think that's a little bit more of a different story. But yeah, I kind of like our chances. No one believes in us. We got nothing to lose here. We should be able to play loose.
Deke said, "Yo, when nobody believes in us, you better believe in us, man." Honestly, I feel like this is the time where you see Coach Tomlin really thrive, man, with his backs against the
Season
wall.
Over, fire
nobody
Tomlin.
believes it. Hey, man, we're on this 4-game losing streak. It's got to be a wrap. It's got to be over. I'm like, oh, double down the bet. Double down the bet is about to happen because nobody believes in. When I tell you, being inside of those rooms with this man, this is where he thrives. This is where he gets a chance to really lock in on that whole motivational. How do I get you as a man to tap in? How do I get you as a player to do that extra thing? That what are you willing to do? I think it was Cam. They was catching him walking off one of those like fields, and I know Russ had said something to him, but it was something along after Russ, man. It was I want to say Cam. I heard him say, "Put your will on display," and that's one of the things that Coach Tomlin always talks about. Man, you got to be willing to put your will on display because everybody is capable at this level. Everybody is capable of running fast, hitting hard, going across the middle, making that tackle. But are you actually willing to do it? Because not a lot of people are willing to make that sacrifice. I mean, we talk about just in life how people, you know, get to the place that they get to, and this person is willing to do more than that other person is. And when you talk about this team, if they're willing to make that extra sacrifice, if they're willing to go that extra mile and say, all right, man, let's really get locked in. I don't care what has happened prior to this. I don't care what may or may not have been right, wrong, or indifferent. Fresh slate. Let's get it going this week. Time to go 1-0. I think this team is definitely capable of beating this Ravens team because, I mean, Deke, we said
I really wouldn't be surprised.
Deke, this is our third time playing against them. Have we not already beat them this season? This is our third time playing against them. Have we not already beat them? And that's my other part. I'm like, I could see if we're 0 for 2 already, and it's just, man, we don't stand a chance against these guys. But that's not the case.
Yeah, if it was 0 for 2, we got blown out both times. But if you look at it, 1-1, first game we won. Lamar had another Lamar Jackson type of game against us where he threw for under 50% completion, was missing some wide open passes, had a couple turnovers. And, it was 18-16. And one of those, the final touchdown they got was really late in the game.
Yeah.
And then that second game, as I mentioned, it wasn't like as bad as what the final score is going to indicate. Russ threw that final pick six. He don't throw that final pick six. We get a drive going there. Maybe we score.
Yeah.
Tie it up, whatever. Obviously, it's woulda, coulda, shoulda, all that type of stuff. But still, I actually thought we played them halfway decent.
Yeah.
In terms of like sticking in that game back and forth. But we had the untimely turnovers and the defense was banged up and everything. So I mean, that's part of it.
Yeah.
Now we're healthy though. We're pretty much fully healthy outside of Mason McCormick. And I think he's still going to try to play.
I'm about to say Mason. The way that they've communicated it, they said that with Mason McCormick, he initially was supposed to wear a cast on his hand. He didn't want to wear the cast. So from there, they had Spencer Anderson, who obviously has had some starts earlier in the season with some of the guys getting hurt. They had Spencer taking some of the starting reps at the right guard spot. And basically, for McCormick, he says he's going to continue to try to give it a go. But if he feels like he is going to risk, making it worse, or he's completely compromised and can't perform, then he's not going to go. And when you're talking about a young player like Mason, I don't hate the mindset. But at the same time, I don't want him to feel like, he has to go out there because he's been starting. I personally feel like Spencer Anderson with two hands can get me what I need versus potentially compromise Mason McCormick with one hand. I think Mason McCormick with two hands is the better player. But when you're talking about taking away one of his biggest tools, to me, the talent gap isn't that great where we're saying, hey, he could be a one-handed man and he's still going to be better than Spencer. I personally don't think that. So that's why when I did hear that Spencer was getting the reps, I'm like, okay, I like that. But if Mason can go, then I want Mason out there, if that makes sense as well.
Maybe at least just give him a chance.
Yeah.
Let him try it out, see how it is. I forgot we even had Spencer Anderson because I saw that we called up Calvin Anderson.
Yeah, we got a lot of Andersons, man.
I don't even know who that is, but we called him off the PUP list.
We had put Calvin.
And I was worried that he was actually going to be getting the start, but you're right about Spencer Anderson.
Calvin Anderson was the one we put out there when Dan Moore got hurt. They put Calvin out there at left tackle, and that was, I forgot what game it was. He kind of it wasn't the best. And then after that, Dan came back and we're all good.
So we're healthy.
Yeah.
And
Dante Jackson, for the most part, is healthy.
Practice.
I'm always nervous at the witching hour with him because it seems like every Friday or last day of the week practice is a back or something. So everything looked good yesterday. Obviously, they're traveling today, so we'll see with that. As long as nothing pops up there, we should be good to go.
You know what? Your boy Tyler actually brings up a good point here in the chat.
Shout out to the homie Tyler. I hit that like button one time for Tyler,
even though he's from Buffalo, he's bringing up some good Steelers.
Hey, hit the like
here.
button for Tyler, man. Tyler, a good dude,
We
man.
were without Pickens in that Ravens game as well.
Ooh, big facts on that. We definitely were.
Right?
Yeah, because that was the game where they said, remember,
his first game back was the Chiefs.
Yeah, because leading into it, they said he was soft and he never got. Or no, that was Brown.
Well,
he was soft.
They're saying that now.
Yeah, they with the cologne thing. Yeah, it was like, this is kind of resembles GP. Oh, it's soft. But
they're trying to make it seem like they weren't talking about GP in relation to him being soft.
Yeah.
There was a different conversation happening.
That's
what
they said.
Bad timing.
Yeah.
The damage is already done.
Hey, listen, man, we gonna take it that way. I don't care what. Hey, look, y'all might not have meant it like that. We taking it like that.
Right.
Straight up.
Add
we gonna
more
take it
fuel
like
to the
that,
fire,
man.
pull some more material. I think that's another thing in our favor. I think we got that nobody believes in us, the extra amount of motivation where the Ravens think they're above, like that type of stuff. No one's giving us a chance. And so that's just added fuel to the fire. Now these guys are calling Pickens soft. Now we'll see how GP responds. Because if it's like this Bengals game, then you're going to be proving them right. But if it's like how we've seen the things we've seen from you most of your career, prove them wrong.
See, for me, man, I'm even excited at the fact with GP is he's coming off one of his worst games of his career. Never
Yeah, it was terrible.
has he ever had multiple drops
that
in a
had to
game,
have been
man.
the worst. It
You
had to
know,
have been.
multiple drops in a single game, man. I love it, though. I love it because now we're going to get a chance to really see who he is. And I think he's going to respond, bro. I think
a lot hinges on this game. Not only that, but Tomlin stuff, Russ stuff.
Mm-hmm.
This is a huge game.
But I think this is where you see the GP that we all feel like he is. That guy that can take over again. That guy that can be dominant. Because when you have a performance like he had as a competitor, man, that drives you nuts. And GP's a competitor. He has the antics, and he might not display his frustrations the best way or always professional, but the dude's a competitor. So when you talk about a guy that is an ultimate competitor and he's coming off of a bad performance, man, this dude is going to be chomping at the bit to go out there, and he's going to get all the one-on-ones with Marlon Humphrey, because that's how they playing right now. You going to get Marlon Humphrey one-on-one, and GP has already proven on multiple occasions that he can successfully beat that dude routinely. So I'm just like, man, make sure my dog got some pressure. I mean, make sure my dog got some time, man. Just Broderick, Dan, interiors, just give him some time, because I know that's the one.
So we're healthy. They're missing their top receiver in Zay Flowers. It's kind of a big deal.
The first time.
Kind of a big deal.
First Pro Bowl wide receiver in Ravens history also.
Wait, seriously? History?
Yes, dude, in history. It's crazy. I say you think of all the receivers that have played in Baltimore, they have never had a Pro Bowl receiver. Yes, dude. I was like
history.
Torrey Holt,
not Torrey Holt,
Torrey Smith, Steve Smith. Yeah, they said the history of dudes have been
Bolden.
Pro Bowlers, but never been Pro Bowlers while
Fair.
Baltimore Ravens. Huh. Yeah, because I was like, Steve Smith got to be Steve, and it was like, no, yeah, well, his was in Carolina. Yeah, I was like, Anquan
Derek
Bowen.
Mason.
Wow.
Yeah. I guess Derek Mason's prime was more Tennessee, but still, I mean, that's the Ravens thing. You grab, grab a guy a little past their prime, but still got it.
You know how they do, baby. But yeah, when I seen, I was like, Zay, really? I felt kind of good about us though, because we was on Zay. Remember that we was coming out of Boston College. We was on Zay.
Yeah,
we was on him. We don't like him now because he's in Baltimore, but we were for certain on him.
He's definitely an upgrade over Marquise Brown for them.
We was calling him a little AB, but we was like, that's what he looked like.
Yeah, he's good. There's no doubt.
Yeah.
So him not being there, kind of a big deal.
Yeah, heck yeah. Massive
now
deal.
their number one receiver is Rashad Bateman, and then their two is it Aguilar or Tyler Wallace? Who do you want to say their two is?
Deke. Their one is Mark Andrews.
Well,
their two is Isaiah Likely, and then their three is going to be Rashad Bateman. That's how this day about to play.
That helps us out a lot, though.
I would agree.
I don't think you got to worry about the receivers as much.
I would agree. And I'm going to throw Justice Hill in there as well. I think Justice Hill might get more targets than they're going to Bateman, man. Just how they use him in the screen game, how they use him in some of the passing stuff, man. Zay Flowers is big.
This goes back to a bunch of these Ravens offenses we've played in the past recently, where they don't really have legitimate receiving threats, and we're able to match up really well against them. Hence Lamar having these bad games and looking flustered and not being on that MVP type level. So why couldn't that happen in this game? That's why I'm saying I just wouldn't be surprised if the defense plays really good. Lamar does Lamar type things typically whenever he plays the Steelers, or you're even in the playoffs. You combine those factors together, it's just like, man, we got a chance. This 10-point spread is crazy to me.
Oh yeah, the 10 points.
I get why people would say we're underdogs, we're the lower seed going on the road against the Ravens. We've been 0-4, but 10 points is crazy.
10 points is a lot of points for a playoff team.
I would think a fair spread would be like 3 or 4 points, really.
Yeah. Listen, they could have had it at 6.5, and I would have been like, okay, a touchdown is fine. 10 points, like, you're talking double-digit spreads. These are playoff teams.
Playoff teams that are going to be seeing
each other
these
for
are
the third
time
teams,
this year.
Yeah.
Ravens games, no matter what the records are, typically come down to one-score games, field goal type of games.
That's real life, man. So, I was.
You add the tightness of it being a playoff game in the mix too.
Shoot, I was laughing at I think it was Calvin Austin. I forgot who was doing the questions for him at the locker room scrum. He's like, yeah, man, how do you guys feel about being the underdogs? He's like, underdogs? He's like, man, I don't even look at nothing like that. I ain't worried about no underdogs.
They shouldn't be.
No, he's like, I don't feel like I'm an underdog. I'm like, you shouldn't, because y'all have already beat this team, and y'all know y'all could have beat them the other time too. Like, y'all know what this is, man. Y'all could play dumb, but, man, we ain't tripping on them. Nah. And they gonna be ready to go, man. But I guess I should ask, because I haven't had a chance to see you since, like, everything was happening, man, and all the other hoopla and stuff like that. You making a QB switch, man? Who you starting this week, man? You
I'd
team
love
Justin Fields or you team Russell Wilson, man? I'm just curious, asking for some friends and stuff, man.
Oh, I'd love to.
You would go Fields? I'm
Not realistically.
I'm dead serious, man. Talk to me, man.
No.
Talk to me.
Not realistically.
Because you know people have been talking about it.
I would
bro.
love to, though.
People have been talking about it,
I would love
bro.
to see it. Just because, the offense hasn't been it in these last 4 games. 17 points.
Mm-hmm.
Fields got that talent. We got to see what he could do in those 6 games, and we went 4-2.
Yeah.
But you made the decision to go with Russ, and let's not act like we haven't had some good moments, some really high highs with Russ this season.
We've had some highs, bro. Some highs, man.
You can't make that switch right now. You can't. I think it would be foolish because you could say on one hand, like, what's the risk? Like, you're not risking anything because the offense hasn't put up over 17 points. So why not? Let's at least see what Fields can do.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see what that upside could do. Let's see what his talent and his ability to run the ball could do, and that added dynamic to the offense. But you're also there is a legit risk because you may be missing out on playoff Russ.
Yeah.
That experience that he brings to the table, the moxie, the veteran leadership, all that type of stuff. Where he does typically rise up to the occasion when push comes to shove, when backs up against the wall. Like, you could be missing out on that element that Russ has, where we still haven't fully seen it from Justin Fields. We saw it a little bit in that Colts game where he led that comeback effort, but week 4 in the regular season is way different than playoff game on the road against the Baltimore Ravens. So I think from just, throw caution to the wind, as a fan, I don't actually have to make the decision. I'd love to see Fields out there. I really would, but no, I'm not actually doing it.
No, I can dig that, man. For me, I'm kind of similar with you. For the sake of anarchy and just to blow the system up, throw Justin Fields out there. Let's have fun with
you're
it,
definitely
right?
throwing off Baltimore's game plan. They are not going to know what to expect.
Absolutely. So part of me says, I would love to do that. But at the same time, I'm with you. I'm like, man, we married Russ when we switched to him. And, after those first 6 games, Coach Tomlin stood up. He said, man, I get paid the big bucks to make this type of decision. And we've benefited from that. Man, we were sitting at 10-3, 10-4 at one point this season, feeling great, had the playoffs already locked up with 5 games left. We hadn't done that in forever. So when you're talking about going from, that type of high, we all felt like, that validated the decision. That validated our feelings of why we felt so happy about Russ when we even signed him. So now that we've hit adversity, now that, we're kind of going through a little bit of a rocky patch here, we can't just jump ship and turn our back on them because, once again, that's personally not the steal away, but that's also not the way of championship teams or winning teams. We talk about, man, it's that unification. It's that, man, when you're having a rough time, I'm still going to have your back. I'm not going to just point the finger at you. So I think for this team, you can add Justin Fields. I would like to see a little bit of him in this game. But I'm still very cautious, and I want them to be a little bit more intentional about how they use them. I don't want it to be just series for series.
That would be stupid.
Because but the last time we saw, I think, was Cleveland. That's what we were doing. And I don't personally like that. I think if you're using them situationally, though, I think that is a great weapon. I think that that's a bonus to him. I think short yardage situation, you could utilize his legs. You can utilize the dual threat abilities. I think in certain red zone scenarios, we can use his legs and ultimately try to, use that pass run option to threaten people. But if you get too cute, especially in the postseason, all it takes is one mistake.
Don't overthink yourself.
All it takes is one mistake, and now we're talking about, man, we should have been scoring a touchdown in the red zone, but we went with this cute package. It ended up being a fumble or a turnover, and now we over here talking about, man, we should have just kept Russ out there this whole time. So that's why I'm like, if we're going to do it, be very intentional, be very buttoned up. Don't just look like it's some, we're treating like preseason. Yo snap, my snap. Yo series, his series. Like, nah, man, put some detail into it, man. Be very thoughtful about it.
Yeah, like 2 or 3 plays max and have those plays locked in. Like your best Justin Fields plays, right? Because once you start getting to basically what we did against the Browns, 9-10 plays for Fields, messes up the flow for Russ. But also you get to a point, too, where you have to actually start incorporating pass plays with Fields because it becomes too predictable with the run. And then if you start calling pass plays for Fields,
it defeats the purpose.
You start asking yourself, like, why don't we just have Fields be the starter?
It defeats the
you got
purpose.
to just pick one.
It
right?
defeats the purpose. Yeah. If Fields is going to come in and start throwing, it defeats the purpose of me playing both of these guys. Yeah.
I could see 2 or 3 plays. Ravens are probably going to know we're going to run it, but at least it's a read option. And like you said, and maybe short yardage packages, goal line, that's where it can make sense.
Yeah.
But I still don't even like that. But you know what? I will give props to the Steelers in the times that they have used Fields in like only 2 or 3 plays in some of these games. It's worked because the one was at the end of the Ravens game, the first Ravens game.
That's how we closed it out. Yeah.
And then the other one was at the end of the Bengals game, the first Bengals game where we won like 40-something to 38.
Man, he was the closer. It almost worked. Was at Cleveland.
It got us back in the game.
Yeah.
And then we overthought ourselves. And on 3rd and 4 in our last series to close out the game, we threw him in there and had him
trying
throw
to throw
up a
it
pass to Pickens
in the snowstorm. Yeah.
It's like, okay, I'm fine with the play call. I'm fine with all that, but just have Russ do it.
Yeah.
If you're going to have Fields and shotgun
in the
where
snow.
There's no threat of him running or doing any play action or read option stuff, just have Russ do that then.
Yeah. I'm with you, man.
And I don't even mind what Fields did on the play too. This is more on coaching and how they set Fields
it was
up
just
there.
it was the up top decision.
Right.
Not the necessary execution. Sometimes we fault execution, and I know for me, man, I'm back and forth on it. Sometimes I look at it and I say, man, I think execution was the fault here. Other times it's like, no, I think the scheme, or I think the idea was off. And that's definitely one of those ones where I think idea was off. Where I don't feel like idea was off versus Bengals. I feel like I like the approach of trying to run the football, but execution wasn't there. Because the thought process of if I run the football, I'm going to control the clock. If I control the clock, it keeps the Bengals offense on the sideline. Yeah, that thought process makes sense. But when you're not executing it, it really doesn't matter. So, like I said, you can see it both ways on that thing, man. But I like it though, man. So we both on the same page with Rustin. All right.
I would love to throw Fields out there, but it's not wise.
Respect. Okay. Okay.
I don't think it's the thing to do. I don't think. Again, if I'm actually making a decision, if I was Tomlin or if I was Rooney, whoever had like the final say on this, I would go with Russ. And I think they're going to do that too. I don't think they've lost faith in Russ to the degree that fans have. And let's be real too. And I kind of brought this up, 10, 15 minutes ago when we were talking about what the offense has looked like over these last 4 games. It really hasn't been as bad as some of the stats are going to say.
Untimely turnovers.
And what the feeling
Bad
is right now.
turnovers at the
Because
wrong
I
time.
think it's more I think it's more based off these last 2 games, Chiefs and Bengals. Because we weren't talking about the offense being god-awful against the Eagles and Ravens. It was more about the defense and more about how Ravens and Eagles just killed the time of possession and the untimely turnovers by Russ.
Remember,
and what were we thinking
we got the ball 2 times in that Eagles game in the second half.
Yeah, and at those times too, after the Ravens game, after the Eagles game, there was no discussion about putting in Fields. And it's not like Russ even played that bad in this Bengals game. I think the offensive approach was pretty bad for the first couple quarters, 3 quarters. We didn't air it out. We weren't balanced. We tried to be too conservative. I think we got worried about some of these turnovers in the Eagles, Ravens, and Chiefs game. And we're just like, we're just going to run the ball, try to control it that way. We're not turning the ball.
We're going to minimize.
Not going to do it.
We're going to minimize our exposure to negativity. Also, I thought that they had too much conviction in their preparation. They felt like, man, my plan to running the ball, my plan to play action is going to work. Let me just keep going with this thing. And it takes them 3.5 quarters to realize,
oh, now we're down.
Hey,
2
bro,
scores.
all right, man, maybe I should throw it. And that's when we started talking about, the offense picked back up. But this is what I've said at times about Coach Tomlin. When people say, what am I critical of Coach Tomlin about? Clock management, number 1. But the second part is he is very stubborn in his preparation. He will sometimes wait a little bit too long to come off of the preparation. And I understand both sides of it. How many times has this guy been right? He's been right way more than he's been wrong when he prepares. So oddly, when you're looking at those numbers, that's going to reflect the guy that doesn't want to change when he's seeing some adversity for the first time or even the second time, because he's saying to himself, man, my track record is when I prepare like this, I'm successful. But he's also the same guy that says you got to be light on your toes. Why do you got to be light on your toes? Because if you're getting in a situation and you feel like, hey, man, all right, a couple series into this thing, we not getting the looks that we want. We're not having the matchup success that we want. Man, it's time to switch. And that's one of my faults with him. He will stick on that of, nah, we're going to get it. Nah, we're going to get it. Execute it. And it's like, all right, I'm with you on that until your personnel can't execute it. Deke, I can say, Deke, get out there, line up in this 6 technique, shoot both of your hands on the chest plate, right nipple, left nipple, shoot him like, just going right up. And then I need you to follow him whichever way he's going body-wise. If you're shooting a duck out the air, all right. No, Peter, don't get me. But I need you to follow him like that every single time. I want you to step with his right. You're going to mirror his feet with your steps. Don't cross over at all. Get out there and execute it. And you don't get out. Like, I just told you what to do, right? Get out there and execute it. I'm telling you exactly how to beat this block right here. This is the exact way. I promise you this is perfect. But it's like, if you can't do that, it doesn't matter if I'm telling you exactly the right answer and I'm telling you 1,000% the correct way. If you can't do it, I have to figure out the alternative. I have to figure out, all right, Deke, don't worry about shooting your hands. Line up like you about to run a sprint, and I want you to just go head first through this open gap right here, and we're going to force this block, and I'm going to tell this linebacker to make you right. That's the alternative of it. He's capable of that as well, but he's so stubborn at times with the preparation, with the plan. And that's why at times as fans will be saying, hey, man, why don't you ever make adjustments? Why don't we ever, where's the halftime switch? Because, he believes it so hard. And his track record has proven it. So it's like, I get it.
Yeah, that was one of those games I think you did have to be a little more agile, given that you could attack a Bengals defense in both ways, whether it is running the ball or passing the ball, as you saw in the first matchup.
Seriously.
So to your point, once you see our O-line's not blocking that amazing,
Trey is having a day.
Maybe you gotta figure something out. And the quick passing approach, what do you know, worked in that fourth quarter. Now I don't know if it's Bengals playing a little bit more prevent defense, but we saw the quick passing game worked really good in that first matchup, in the first quarter, the second quarter, all throughout the game. So, I'm surprised that wasn't a part of the approach going into this. Yeah. And that helps out Russ, too.
It does. It definitely does.
Trust Russ, man.
Let him cook.
I'm being serious. I can live with that. If we go down with a less conservative game plan than what we had going into this Bengals game, and, we're letting Russ be in shotgun, letting Russ read it, I'm fine with that. I don't want to see what we saw against the Bengals game again, though.
Yeah,
I can live with going down with Russ with this playoff experience.
I don't want to lose
the resume
conservative
that he has, and how he's been playing this year, man. It's not like I don't know. It's not like he doesn't have it anymore.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we've seen enough success from him this year to know he still has it, and now it's just going to come down to: are we going to execute this thing? Are the coaches actually going to call certain things that open up the offense a little bit more? Because we all would agree. We saw them play the Bengals 2 times, and we could all point and say this offense in that first matchup was opened up, pass first. You could get it how you live, whereas this one, it was we are running the ball. We are ultra conservative, and we are not going to even present an opportunity for a turnover. But when you're going 3-and-out, 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 it really don't matter. It's like, man, that's just as bad. Field position isn't terrible, but you still not getting what you want accomplished. So, and that's why the game didn't feel as close.
Right. And I don't know exactly how I want to divvy up the blame there, because you could talk about Arthur Smith. He's the one calling the plays. He's our offensive coordinator.
Yeah.
But I'm hearing a lot of stuff about Tomlin overseeing the offense and just how the flow is and game planning. And we heard that in the past. He admitted to it whenever Canada was here.
Like he is hands-on.
So maybe in a way,
from a schematic standpoint,
he needs to let off the reins a little bit.
So I think this is the thing, man. When we're talking about Coach Tomlin,
he wasn't doing that with Todd Haley, right?
So don't think of it in the sense of he's controlling the play call. Think of it in the sense of it's the ideology of how we want to attack. Some teams are going to say, Deke, I want you to get out here and I want us to be tempo. I want fast pace. I want to press teams. I want to test their conditioning. So it's going to be on you to figure out how to generate fast-paced offense, whether that's quick game, whether that's hurry-up offense, whether that's you just line up at the line of scrimmage, but then we're going to call it from the sideline. But it just gives you illusion of tempo. Or you might have a guy come in there and say, yo, I want to slow this thing. I want to take the air off the ball. I want to make it the most long, just drag-out game ever. All right, it's on me to figure out How do I eat up clock? How do I make sure that I'm sustaining drives? Run the ball, play action, 1 or 2 passes. Take your time. Don't snap that ball till it's 10 seconds left on the play clock at least. Right? So I think if it's more of that than, hey, call this.
No, I'm with
play.
you.
You know
no,
what I mean?
I
Like, it's
agree
more
with
of
you.
that.
And I think that does go back to, all right, if the run game ain't working, like,
right, and that's the stuff.
we got to figure out how to move the offense one way or another.
Because if we're just focusing on offense, then if I'm just trying to do what I want to do to score, that's different than how do I help my team out? Because if I know this is a matchup where it's not all the way in our favor defensively, but I know offensively we don't have that personnel that can match them what they're going to be trying to do. Now I got to figure out as a whole how to put it together. And that's why you'll see coordinators look good, but then when they become head coaches, they struggle because it's a different mindset. It's not just how do I make this part great? It's how does this complement this? Wow, my special teams, I got to make sure that they're complementary as well. So when you look at us, we typically have been complementary in all 3 phases, but it's looked different. It hasn't been like what we deem as like normal complementary football with NFL offenses in today's time, where it is more passing, where it is more of the high scoring.
It has been, though. It points
More
this year. That's why I'm wondering. It's
points,
like, why all of a sudden do we want to go backwards? And I'm not even saying backwards, because let's also admit, being this ground and pound team against the Bengals and keeping Joe Burrow off the field, it's not a bad strategy.
No, not at all.
It's not, especially since the Bengals' rush defense isn't that good either. But when it's not working, you got to figure out a way to pivot faster, I think.
And I think that's
going back to your point of being flexible.
Yeah.
Having some other outs or just having some other avenues prepared. I don't know if that goes into the preparation.
Trust me, Coach Tomlin has all of these bullets in the chamber across the board. Danny Smith on special teams, offensively, all of them do. But it really just goes back to how light you are on your feet. Because for some people, we've seen how many times we've talked about, man, this offense they tried to run the ball the first 2 series. It didn't work, so they abandoned the run. And they just threw it for the rest of the game and essentially lost them their opportunity. Heck, the first Ravens matchup, we say, they just stopped giving Derrick Henry the ball.
Yeah.
Why? Overthought it, right? Abandoned their plan too soon.
Hopefully they do that this
right.
week.
But we saw it work in our favor, where a team not named the Pittsburgh Steelers did the exact thing, or the exact opposite thing. They abandoned it too soon, and we saw how it worked out for us. Whereas that second matchup, they said, man, we're not about to abandon this. They gave it to Derrick Henry. He had, 200? They had, 200-something yards on the ground that day, and it was a way different outcome. Part of why I still feel good about this matchup, because I'm like, which OC are we getting? Because I still ain't convinced on them.
I think Zay Flowers being out is going to be a big deal.
I do too, man.
It enables the Steelers to focus on the run more and focus on the middle of the field more.
Mm-hmm.
And I just don't really think that Lamar Jackson's going to be able to get Rashad Bateman, Wallace, or Aguilar the ball to the same clip as Zay Flowers, because Zay Flowers in the couple games against us this year was a threat.
I would agree.
Sure. Lamar missed him a couple times in the first game, but you
Zay's
saw they had a good connection in the second one.
1,000-yard receiver, Pro Bowl receiver, man. Like, he's a good player. Like, we would have. We wanted him. We said that. We was on his trail, so we know what he's capable of.
We didn't draft the receiver, I guess, in that one.
We didn't, yeah.
Because that was between Zay Flowers, Addison, Smith, and Jigba.
Yeah.
What was that draft? Who the hell did we draft? I guess that was Broderick Jones. Broderick Jones and JPJ.
Yeah, because
I think.
Yeah, because Addison was the year. Was he 2 after Kenny or 1 after Kenny?
Just 1.
Right. So we did Kenny first, and then it was.
We were talking about
Broderick.
drafting Addison.
Yeah, to pair with him, like Burrow and Chase.
Right.
Yeah.
And we drafted Broderick instead.
Yeah.
Then Addison went late first. Zay Flowers went late first.
Yeah.
Joey Porter Jr. slid.
Yeah. Went late first. Call him late first. I like it, man. I like it.
We really should have done looking back, if we could have pulled it off, trade Deontay for, I don't know, first or second round pick.
Yeah.
Drafted Jordan Addison.
I mean,
we should have done
2020.
that. Given that we, ended up trading Deontay anyway this offseason, probably although Deontay Jackson's been a godsend for us, so I can't complain too much. He's 5 picks for a cornerback.
Come on, man.
A Steelers cornerback.
Come on, man. He actually catches.
I'll take it. Yeah.
Heck yeah, man.
And that's with them missing a couple games.
Mm-hmm.
Could have been more.
Leaving
like 6
games
or 7.
early too. He's left multiple games early.
Right.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
All right. Anything else with what were we talking about there?
I mean,
kind of like Fields and the offense.
Well, yeah, because I had asked you just at the beginning of it, man. Who would you have start, or who would you start? And then we kind of talked about it that way. But shoot, because like I said, man, we are gonna be a little bit condensed since, like I said, it is the morning time, and y'all know we got a little vibes, stuff like that on the schedule for today, man. But in terms of just overall strengths, weaknesses, man, how you feeling about them though, man? Like, we're very familiar with them. You know what I mean?
Right.
But I ain't know if you had anything that you wanted to add into it. And I do see the supers coming in as well, man. Shout out to all these super chats, man. We appreciate the heck out of all y'all, man. Don't forget to hit that like button one time for the culture and subscribe.
Yeah, their strengths are channel, obviously the run game, the Lamar Jackson, Derrick Henry dynamic.
Mm-hmm.
And I would say, too, one of their strengths this season has been the passing game. Lamar has really stepped up his game. I think he's thrown for over 4,000 through the air. Touchdowns have been crazy. I think it's like, is it 40-plus passing touchdowns or 40-plus total?
40-plus total.
Either way, like, yeah, he's just he's very far removed from early Lamar Jackson.
He's
where
playing MVP caliber.
Yeah,
like,
where it's way more
caliber.
focused on the run, and then the passing comes after that because everyone's focused on the run. It opens up just dudes being wide open, and he takes advantage of it like that. Where he's, I don't know, only thrown for like between like high 2,000s to like low 3,000s per year. He's a legitimate, like, I think you could just drop him back in the pocket now.
Yeah, he's
now it's like the legs are in a way kind of like the secondary thing. A lot of his rushing yards come from the improvisation as opposed to the stuff that they're dialing up. Now they still do it, obviously, but not to the same degree whenever it was early Lamar.
Yeah.
But I don't know if I'm going to say the pass game is going to be their strength in this one. If I want to be like a predictor here, because of them missing Zay Flowers, I
know Zay is big, man.
I think they're going to struggle in the passing game a little bit more than people expect. Obviously, they do have a Mark Andrews, but, man, after him, and it's not like Isaiah Likely's been the same dude he was early in the season either. Everyone thought like Isaiah Likely was going to take over from Mark Andrews. Yeah. It hasn't been that case. Still a threat, still a target, but, bro, if we're talking about him being the second guy, between him and Rashad Bateman being the second guy, I like the effect that we're going to have on the Ravens passing game here. So, as a whole this season, their passing game has been a strength. I don't think it's going to be there this game. I really don't. I think we're going to have something dialed up.
The one thing I would add, too, because I'm with you on both of those, I think that defensively, they've found a way to minimize their errors. I felt like early on, man, they had blown coverage after blown coverage. I thought that with them trying to move around Kyle Hamilton as much as they were moving him around, and Marlon Humphrey slide outside and stuff like that, none of those guys were consistently on the same page. Whereas now I think it's a lot more simplified, but they do a lot more of the simulated pressure, which is the fake blitz. It's I'm going to show you like I'm going to blitz, but I'm going to bring the nickel, but I'm going to drop the D tackle out. Or I'm going to bring the linebacker, but I'm going to drop the DN out. So it's just four guys rushing. But to the quarterback, it feels like it's a blitz because I'm seeing a little person, or I'm seeing somebody that isn't supposed to be rushing. And they've done a really good job of confusing offensive lines with that as well. Whenever you start having multiple moving pieces around, we always say that's the approach if you don't have the TJ Watts of the world, the Myles Garretts of the world, the Alex Highsmiths, right? The guys that can just come out and just win one-on-ones. If you don't have that, man, you better start confusing guys up front. So you'll see D-line stunts, right? The games, pass rush games, or you'll see the blitzing. But if you don't want to blitz, because by blitzing, you do open yourself up to more of the potential pass threat because you're taking a guy to coverage, you do the simulated pressure. It's a great concept because, like you said, you're getting best of both worlds. And traditionally, younger quarterbacks get ate alive with that. And then you watch that Browns game, man, Drew Lock or DTR, it was like, yo, which way is it coming from?
Bailey Zappi, man.
Oh, yeah, that's what I meant. Bailey Zappi, my bad on that, man. He had the 2-1, man. I was looking at him last night. I'm like, yo, you look like Drew Lock, but this is Bailey, but you look like Drew.
Did you watch Hard Knocks?
No, all 22, man.
Okay.
I
was watching Hard Knocks last night.
I got so hyped because of TG, and I couldn't sleep, so I was like, let me just throw the all 22 back on. And then I was like, I was kind of vibed out, Deke. I was researching. I was sitting by I got a window, Deke, so I could actually look outside. I was checking out the view. Man, I appreciate you. I could see the views. I was like, you know what? Let me just watch some tape. And I'm like, bro, you look just like Drew Lock. And in my mind, I said, you're not Drew Lock. And I said, let me not call you Drew Lock because I know I'm going to call you that on the show. And for
Who would you take?
You catch what I'm saying?
If you're a team, I guess I would take Drew Lock. I think I would.
Hey, look, man.
Between those two.
Hey, man. Drew got the vibe. He got the young Jeezy little. You know what I mean? So that was cool. But
Right,
I
he's
like
got the talent.
Bailey, Western Kentucky, man. You know what I mean? Shout out to Western Kentucky, man. Beanie Bishop, Western Kentucky guy. Western Kentucky, the first victims of James Madison University's bowl game run. You know what I mean? First win. So I like Western Kentucky, man. I ain't got no issue with Western Kentucky, man. But yeah.
How about Beanie Bishop getting that
look good, man?
other pick?
Yeah, man.
Fourth pick on the season.
Find a way, bro. Find a way. They don't ask how. Or they don't ask how.
I mean, that's a great play, though.
Yeah.
Like, it wasn't a pure pick, but it's a hell of a play. It counts, too.
Heck yeah.
A hell of a play.
He's one of those guys, man. I say you living right, bro. He living right because the ball always finds him. He's doing all
4 picks rookie season as an undrafted rookie free agent.
Come on. And his player performance bonus about
2 of them against Rodgers.
The player performance, man. Think about how many snaps he's played as well. He did his thing. He did his thing, man. You're the Mike Hilton trajectory. You have stepped in. You've completed the first step. Show you can play.
He's passed it.
That's what I'm saying. Show you can play, man.
He's on a better pace.
Show you can play, man, because you got to sustain it. But show you can play, man. Heck yeah. Because that's the bad side about the undrafted part. He going to have to rock out for a hard 3, really 4, because, yeah, I took the chance on you out of college, so I don't have to give you the deal. You're the restricted free agent, so you already know what it is or the freight. That's why I'm like, stick with it. But, yeah, you're already off on a great pace, man. So let's go, baby. Heck yeah.
Another strength I would throw the Ravens way right now is Justin Tucker looks like he's back, which is unfortunate.
See, I think he's hot and cold. I think he's back up until it's a big moment again. I haven't seen him in the big enough moment just yet. What big moment?
I like that. No, I like that.
Tell me, what big moment has he kicked in recently?
I like that. Yeah.
Like his last, to me, big kick was when he played against us. Man, I was like, all right, you showed up in that game, but I want to see it again when the game matters. This is one of the ones where I think the game is going to matter. And
maybe he'll start looking himself in the mirror and questioning himself. Am I really back? Am I sure I'm back?
I think he blinks, bro. I'm willing to bet he blinks.
I think that's going to be because we need Boz to make all of his.
Boz don't blink. And this is my thing. I feel like Boz has already lived this life. Like this journey that he's on right now, Boz did that. That was Boz in 2019. Boz didn't walk through that fire. He didn't have them spit on his name, and they talk, man, I ain't going to pick up your bonus. People was talking about, man, we need Matthew Wright. Man, we need to get him up out of here.
I don't think Matthew Wright existed.
I don't even think so either, but it was one of them dudes, man. But here we are. A couple years later, now we hollering about Boz being the best kicker in the league and feeling validated with it as well. So for me, man, I'm like, yo, Tucker, this your first time going through this. You've been the poster boy of kickers since day one. Since you've gotten to the league, you've been the poster boy, man. You're this generation's Sebastian Janikowski, like the household name as a kicker. So now that you got adversity, I'm willing to see you blink. I think you're gonna blink, man. Yeah.
Even better than Janikowski. Quick, take a guess what team Matthew Wright's on right now.
Give me the Jets.
He ended the season on Tennessee.
What?
Dude, this is crazy.
What's his pro football looking like,
his
bro?
jersey catalog's
how
crazy
many people
right
he
now.
looking like, bro?
Good for him.
He stays employed, man.
So this year it was 3 different teams: San Fran, Kansas City, and Tennessee.
Mm-hmm.
Why do I feel like it was even more than that, though?
Because he might have been signed else, like places he just never kicked.
Right. 3 teams this year. 2023 was Carolina. 2022, he had 4 games with us.
Mm-hmm.
Kenny's rookie. I guess Boz was hurt.
Yeah. He was doing with the groin. That was
and
the groin.
He did 2 games with Kansas City. Started his career with us. Then the next season in 2021, did basically a full season with Jacksonville, 14 games. Wow. It's 6 teams? Pitt, Jacksonville, Kansas City, Carolina, San Fran, Tennessee. So it's 6 teams, but then
and then whoever he was
2 of those
teams
teams
they didn't play in.
Like Pittsburgh, he's had 2 stints here, and then Kansas City, he has 2 stints there.
Same jerseys or different numbers?
So basically 8 different stops.
Same numbers or different numbers?
Crazy numbers.
I was about to say
16 with us, 15 with Jaguars, 19 with Kansas City.
Oh wow.
4 with Kansas City.
Oh yeah, 2 different
4
numbers
with
them.
us. 16 with Carolina.
Sheesh.
35 with the Niners.
Ew, that stink.
49 back again with Kansas City this year.
Super stink.
and that good old 7 with the Titans.
There it is. Can't go wrong with 7. I like
Can't
that.
go wrong.
I
You're
like
right.
that.
Like Kenny looks like a better quarterback.
I'm telling you, bro. The number looks better, bro.
Philly.
The number matters. And they saying he might be done there. They said they like Tanner.
McKee does look good. I can't even front. Tanner McKee does look pretty good.
They say again, Kenny Pickett is about to be a career backup going forward.
Just stay healthy, bro. Like that's his problem. Stay healthy in that game where you get the opportunity.
You got Mason a job in Tennessee. You got Tanner a job in Philly. All because he couldn't stay healthy, bro.
Dude, it is like I'm telling you, that Eagles game that he started this year, if he just stays healthy, he's coming out of there with like 3-4 touchdowns, and then that one dynamic AJ Brown play they got
that's
called
his
back.
play.
And
you're
you're thinking awesomely about Kenny Pickett being the backup with the Eagles. And Steeler fan, I think we're legitimately talking about, wow, did we make the right decision of not investing in Kenny Pickett? But the fact that he got hurt and ended up with the final stat line of like $150 and 2 touchdowns, you're just like, okay, what if though? What if? Woulda, coulda, shoulda. Woulda, coulda, shoulda. Woulda, whatever it is. All those, hypotheticals.
Nah, that's real, man. That's real.
That's the frustrating part about his career from, a Pitt fan, a Kenny fan.
Yeah. No, all good though, man. All right, so I was gonna say, man, based on where we are time wise, just so we can make sure, because I do see we got a good amount of supers, man.
What time we got to be done?
Let's go 20ish.
11:20. Okay.
Yeah, 20ish, that time frame. So what I'll do is this real quick, man. I'm gonna do a couple of these matchups, man, I want to talk about, and then from there, knock out our score predictions, and then from there, man, we'll rock out rapid fire chats. Sound good?
Okay.
We still technically do have picks
because
we're in range. Yeah,
where am I at?
You're up 5 right now.
On the season.
On the season, you're up 5 because we I think we went 3-3. Yeah, we went 3-3 last week. Yeah, so I was like, I definitely want us to still get those in as well, man. But let me go ahead and on the front end of this thing, man, let's get these matchups for the game, man. So you already know the drill, man. Don't forget to hit that like button one time for the culture and subscribe if you are new to the channel, man. First matchup, man, that we got to talk about, though, is this here running game, man. The Landon Roberts, Patrick Queen, and Peyton Wilson. Y'all got to deal with the monster, the man, the myth, the legend, Derrick Henry. You know what he is, man. The dude's playing on a crazy level. If it wasn't for Saquon Barkley, heck, he would be the guy that they're talking about for Offensive Player of the Year. So you got to worry about that dude on the front end of this thing, man. The next one we got to talk about is the homie GP. He going to have a great matchup versus Marlon Humphrey. Marlon's going to follow this man around. And when he does, it's time to cook that man, all right? He cannot get off on him. Got to win and win consistently, man. And I think with Russ, he'll be able to do that, especially if given the time. And that brings me to my third one with the homie Broderick Jones. Shout out to Broderick, man. I heard how he was talking in his locker room availability. He said I was hoping for this matchup. I wanted this matchup. He said I felt bad about the way that the last matchup went. You seen what he said? He said I want this one. I want it bad. So I like that part right there, man. But he's gonna have to deal with Kyle Van Noy, man. Kyle Van Noy, obviously double-digit sack guy. You saw him celebrating last week, man, because he was getting paid for the incentives, man. He felt like he was a Pro Bowl snub also, man, just throwing that out there. But Broderick, man, you got to keep Kyle Van Noy. That's the guy that has been their most consistent one-on-one pass rusher. The rest of those guys win via the games, the bogus pressure type, simulated pressure type concepts, man. So for me, man, I think if that's the one that we can really minimize, man, I think we can handle everyone else. Then from there, man, Russ, you missed the unlimited. They got a guy, Kyle Hamilton, who they think is a Minkah Fitzpatrick type. He is pretty nice, and he's going to be feeling really good since Notre Dame won last night. But on top of that, man, Russ, that's the guy that if we're going to be trying to work not just GP, but the middle of the field, which is what we've talked about. And I know critics have brought up, oh, Russ is feast or famine. He's deep ball or he's check down, because you heard some people say it a couple of times, man. He still does work the middle of the field. Otherwise, Muth wouldn't have any type of success. And we've even pointed out how Muth,
I think
and
the game
Darnell,
plan's been a little bit more feast or famine.
I would agree with that. And I think that's a different context than Russ being long ball or just check down in the way that people have tried to minimize him. Is funny at times to me, man. But Kyle Hamilton, man, is a dope player, man. That's a guy that he's going to have to be on the lookout for whenever he wants to attack the middle of the field. And Kyle has great ball skills, man. But then the last matchup, man, that we got to talk about is my great player, TJ Watt. When it's Great player on great play. I need my great player to be the one and be the reason why. So TJ Watt versus Lamar Jackson. I know who Roger Rosengarter is, right? I could talk about him because he did have that wholesome moment on Hard Knocks, man. Hey, man, I'm just nobody, man, but could you give me your jersey after the game? Myles Garrett showing him a little love. I did like that. But it doesn't change the fact that I think he's barbecue chicken. But to me, when we're talking TJ, the reason why I say specifically TJ versus Lamar, because we know Lamar is the unicorn. Lamar is the guy that's going to extend the play. Lamar is the guy that you can win your one-on-one block and he still can make you wrong. Or he's the guy that you can be getting blocked and he might make you right when he's scrambling. These are all the things that TJ understands, and TJ knows how to match up with this guy when we're talking about forcing the action, not being afraid to rush this guy. So for me, man, TJ got to get that thing done and cause havoc in order for us to get this job done, man. But I need my great player to be the greatest out there. So
I think he lost to Depoy, so he needs to make up for it for some playoff
unfortunately, I would.
He might still win it though.
It's no definitive person out there ahead of him, and I think that's some. Trey Hendrickson
I can't make a strong defense for him at this point.
I don't feel like Trey Hendrickson is a Depoy winner, but I can see them trying to get loud with him. But it's like
I can see them unfortunately trying to get loud with Myles Garrett.
Myles Garrett too. I was about to say that's the other one because Parsons
and then
it wasn't enough
in the mix apparently. But what's he done this year? How many picks is he? I don't think he's even done anything like that.
I've been focused more so on the MVP, so I ain't even been really looking at the Depoy.
Are you getting concerned?
No. Actually, I'm feeling great. Yeah, man. This is, man.
I think Allen should win it. I'm with you. I think Allen should win it, but I mean, the talk is getting loud for Lamar winning.
I'm excited, bro.
What do you think?
I'm excited, man. Stand on it, bro. Come on, man.
It could be a TJ type of snub like last year with the Depoy, though.
Hey, we'll find out, man. I feel great about it, though, man.
I think this would be more deserving if it goes to Lamar, though, as opposed to when Myles Garrett got it last year. I still think Josh Allen should get it.
Tell me, why you got to put your hands to be like, hey, man, I know you the Bills fan. Don't do me like that, bro. That's crazy, man.
I'm just saying, if Lamar got it, it would be more understandable than how Myles got it last year. The Myles one, I'm never going to comprehend.
Honestly, and this is the part that is.
Oh, wait, you know what? Surtain has 4 picks, pick 6.
Oh, yeah, he had the picks. He had the pick 6. I guess it's like 2. It was like 2 weeks ago. It was like the big loud pick 6, man. Yeah, 100-yard joint.
Best corner in the league. Okay, I see the case.
And he wears the Deion Sanders shoes while Prime is at Colorado, so it just adds to the loudness.
They made the playoffs.
Yeah, and Prime, I mean, everybody knows, Surtain's one of the ones. Like I said, man.
This is a weak Depoy year, though, no matter how you slice it.
I would agree, yes.
Very weak.
I would agree. The way that people
if he wins, you're going to be like, wait, if Surtain wins, you're going to be like, he won the Depoy?
I think the way that we talked about the MVP last year is how people will talk about the Depoy this year. Yeah, you might have a guy win it with some stats that were like, I mean, I guess when you look at the pool, everybody was flawed. And so, I dig that, man. I dig it. All right. How you got me? Score prediction, man. What you got, man? Heck yeah.
What did I say yesterday? I think 24-17.
Ooh, okay.
I think 24-17.
Okay.
I think the offense moves the ball.
Okay.
I actually think we're up 2 scores and the third, early fourth. But then we do our typical thing of letting the Ravens march down the field and get it within one score. And then we need either on offense to get a first down, close it out, or we need the defense to get that final stop, end of the game, 2 minutes left. That's how I see it playing out. I think the Ravens' offense is going to struggle against us, and I think we're going to move the ball on offense. I mean, we actually low-key ran the ball kind of decent against the Ravens in the second game.
It wasn't as bad. And that's who was that? Bill Cowher. That's his famous thing, right? It's never as bad as you think it is, never as good as you think it is. I think that's real. I think the further you get removed from the emotions of the game, and that's why we always talk about watching the tape, the further you are removed and you can just kind of look at it objectively, you'll see that there's actually a lot of good that did happen in some of these games.
Particularly this last game. I thought the defense started to find themselves. 19 points against the Bengals. Granted, we got a lucky bounce here or there. Jamar Chase dropped that touchdown. But 19 points is 19 points against that high-octane Bengals offense.
Absolutely,
I'll take. I saw some good things there. The defense is healthy. It feels like they got some of those details and communication things worked out. So the timing could be right.
Yeah.
We get our defense back, and maybe we learn from our mistakes these last couple of games with the offense and the approach and being a little bit more flexible and letting Russ air it out, giving him more of the reins. Yeah. That's what I'm hoping.
Nah, respect on that,
maybe,
man.
Maybe our lowest point is at the perfect time. What's the Batman quote?
It's the darkest before it's the dawn.
Yeah,
come on, man. The night gets the darkest before
I was
the dawn.
going to botch that up.
I saw you.
Completely
You know,
forgot what it was. I know it had something to do with the darkest something and dawn.
Yeah, man. But shoot, for me, man, I also think it's, man, I don't have it 24-17. Actually, they said you had it 27-20 is what they. Somebody called you out. Yeah, they said last night you said 27-20. Just throwing it out there.
I knew it was 7 points.
Yeah,
okay,
that's
maybe it was.
You
know what? Someone else said.
Someone
else said 24-17. Okay, so wait, do I got to get 27-20?
You got.
Actually, I think I like 24-17 better.
You're maintaining your 7-point spread. I do like that, man. I like the consistency there. All right, for me, man. I think, man, it's tough, man. I feel like, man, these dudes gonna be fighting, knocking each other out. And when you're talking about that rubber match that third time, I think of the two experiences that I've had playing a team 3 times in a row. We did it in 2014. We lost to the Ravens the first matchup, whooped them the second matchup, and they beat us in that third one in the wild card round. But once again, we were the team coming in injured. Yeah, very similar to them not having Zay Flowers. We didn't have L. Bell, who
Mike
had
Mitchell
a heck of a season.
Too, right?
Absolutely. Then I think about the following season, right? The Cincinnati Bengals year, right? We lose to them the first game in Pittsburgh. It was raining, and we felt like, man, L. Bell gets hurt in that game. We felt some type of way about it. We get a chance to come back. We go to their spot, beat them. That's when the pregame scuffling stuff happens where they put the rule you can't cross the 50-yard line anymore. The whole Vince, I'm going to paint you on site, Burfict and all that. So now when it was that third matchup, it's like, man, we already know how we feel about y'all. We already kind of we felt like we had them figured out because they felt like they had us because they won the first matchup. So we got to that third one. Now it's like, all right, we really went out there and we're showing it. But you remember how the game went. They had us in the end of it.
Well, Ben got hurt.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Ben was hurt, but
they were up 15-0. Right. Third quarter.
But they had it at the end. 7 comes back, and then it was them kind of self-implosion. Dudes making crazy plays at crazy times in all 3 phases.
Shuffling the ball. He couldn't move his arm.
Bro, I still think of Ryan Shazier strip of Jeremy Hill. We don't get a chance to do anything if that play doesn't happen. And it was at the time where absolutely nobody, I'm sure if there were fans that they were like, yo, let him score, it's over. Like, that's that portion of the game. And my man literally is like, yo, I got this. We was like, yo, that's what we felt. He was touched by God. We was like, I don't know how you did that. Like, crazy. And then 7, come up. Yo, I don't know what we doing.
Yeah, the crazy part is that next week, after seeing 7 do that against the Bengals, have that, like, I guess you could, what would you say, that delivery with his arm in that Bengals game. And then a week later, to be like,
no fly zone, man.
300 yards,
no fly
slinging
zone.
It out. Like, it doesn't even look like he's hurt at all. It was wild.
Insane.
No AB
man.
either. Like,
Insane.
People forget about that.
No AB, no L. Bell.
No Bell,
Neither
no
one
D'Angelo
of them.
Williams
No
either.
D-Lo. Yeah.
Toussaint.
All our guys were hurt, man.
Don't fumble that ball. My God.
Yeah, 3 dudes, 3 major contributors to the defense. And that's what we always said was the playoff issues there, man. We just injured at the wrong time. 17 AFC Championship, no L. Bell. You down again, you know? Then, 16 AFC Championship.
I think AB wasn't there, right?
AB was.
He was. We had like Marte.
Someone with Marte. No, right?
Marte
was.
Like Kobe
he was out.
There.
It was Kobe and it was Sammy Coates, maybe, I think, at that time.
It's like our 2 receiver. Come on.
And then the 17 year when we had the 2 seed, that's when Shazier gets hurt. And we already talked about how that was kind of playing out, man. But, you know, it's one of them things, man. This year is a little bit different. We got the health, and that's why I do feel like, man.
We got the health. We just got the bad stretch that just happened. We got the health, and we got the players. We got the talent. Mm-hmm. Put it together.
Yeah. So, no time better than the present, man. And you want to make them forget about those past 4 games. I think Dante Jackson said it. He was like, man, them 4 games aren't going to matter. You win on Saturday.
Yeah.
You win a postseason game, bro. Don't nobody care about any of that. And I know the doom and gloomers. Well, all we're gonna do is we'll lose next week. Well, man, who cares? Y'all said we weren't supposed to have a winning season, and then we had the winning season. You say we weren't supposed to have the double digits. We got the double digits. We weren't supposed to make the playoffs. Made the playoffs. Now we ain't supposed to win in the playoff game. Let's just see what happens, man.
Let's see what we play.
Let's just see.
We'll see what we play.
Let's just see.
We might be playing the winners of Texans Chargers.
Yeah, you never know. Like you never know, man.
And too, TG might be onto something. I'm starting to maybe it's because it actually played out to where we're playing the Ravens.
Time out. Don't just call him TG. Defensive coordinator of Norfolk State University, Terrence Galvin.
We'll do Coach TG.
Coach T. I like Coach T. Coach TG.
Because we can't say Coach T. That's Coach Thomas.
There's only one Coach T. He's Coach TG or Coach
Galvin.
Yeah, man. Barely I, always we. I hear you, baby. The defensive coordinator of Norfolk State. Y'all hit that like button for the homie TG being the official defensive coordinator of Norfolk State University with the homie former Pittsburgh Steeler, Mike Vick at the Casa de Crypt. Deke, I started to come in here with all my green and gold on because, like I said, that was like my childhood team because we didn't have, big professional teams. So it was like first when you sit in Norfolk State, like, yo, behold the green and gold. So it was like, bro, I started to come up in here decked out.
You should have.
Well, I needed to rock out black and gold, and I said we haven't had a show to talk Steelers, so I was like, I felt like I wanted to have my plant my flag. You know what I mean?
I like the jersey too. Bettis.
Come
Last
on, bro.
time we saw Bettis in a legit way.
Come on, bro.
It was the Super Bowl XL run, 6th seed.
Come on,
had to go on the road.
Hey, we on the road, so I said let me break out the road whites. You know what I mean? So yeah, like that was my vibe. Otherwise, I would have had all my Norfolk because I love Norfolk State. I wouldn't have went there. They recruited me. They was a little late on it. But it's like, man, that's still like my baby. Like, oh, it's always a vibe with Norfolk State back on. So the fact that my dog is the DC there, Deke, he was just sitting here with us. He was supposed to be here today, man. He's a little busy. He was supposed to be here today. He was busy. He said, bro, you see it, man. He was having a little desk over there too, man. I'm trying to help the vibe out, man. He would have had his little camera set up. Yeah, that's what Deke was talking about. So y'all can see on the camera, all right? Where them pillows at, that's where TG would have been, all right? TG a little busy today. Shout out to the homie though, man. I like it. I like it, man. But yeah, it's Coach Garvin, all right? Yeah.
Coach Garvin, Coach TG. But he might be on to something. Yeah. Again, maybe I'm just doing hindsight 2020 now that it's actually happening that we are playing Baltimore. But we win this game. You mean to tell me we're not going to have a ton of confidence in feeling like we could beat anyone in the league here?
Facts.
Even if it is the Chiefs, I don't know. We got nothing to lose. Who cares? No one. It's going to be a 10-point spread again.
Mm-hmm.
Just go in there and play loose and do your thing.
What's the excuse next week? Just whatever excuse y'all want to have. Just get ready for that to tell us next week.
You know what?
Man.
With that jersey, they said the same thing about us going into Indianapolis in that division round. Because that was the number 1 seed Colts, Peyton Manning, Marvin Harrison, Reggie Wayne, Edgar James. I don't know. They were probably 14-2. They blew us out in the regular season on Monday Night Football. I remember Ike Taylor was getting torched, and went in there and won.
Yeah.
It'd be actually very similar because Chiefs killed us in the regular season. Just go in 6th seed divisional round on the road. No one believes in us. Got it done.
No, respect on it, man. I like it, baby. I like it. All right. So.
What's your score? I don't think you said.
I ain't said my score. You're right. I didn't. I was like, yo, it's physical.
It's not as big of a margin.
Yeah, it's not as big as margin. Yeah. So for me, man, I have a back and forth physical as heck, but I got it 24-23. I have us having to get the walk-off field goal though. I love the dramatics. I think they're up, and it's that weird vibe of can we? Are we? Is it? It's kind of back and forth. It's never the smooth game when we're playing Baltimore anyways. It's always that like knockout, drag on, slugfest. And I think that that's the case, but I do think they're up. I think Lamar has had a decent game, but they're missing Zay Flowers. And from there, I anticipate us being able to come down and make just that one play. I personally... We almost had it last week versus Cincinnati, as bad as it was. And I'm not talking about Pat Freiermuth. I'm talking about the GPFU ball to the right side. As bad as that game was, if that's a completion, we are walking out of there with a daggone victory. And we talking about who said what, who's bad. Y'all tell that to somebody else.
Not even that pass. If GP catches one of those.
It is literally that simple to me, man. So when I think of this one, I'm saying, we're going to get that same look. I don't know, right side or left side, Marlon Humphrey on him. And that's the money ball. That's the dagger. That's the one that hits. And from there, Boz comes in, curtain calls, hey, Justin Tucker, it's not your division no more. It's not your league no more. It's my time. And I think that that's how it plays out, man. Especially when you're talking about rivalries, man. Like, that's the energy, though. Facts, that's the energy to me, man.
Okay. Let's get to these supers then. We got 15
man.
minutes,
Got 15
minutes.
in them. Yeah, man. So y'all hit that like button, man, if y'all vibing out. And don't forget to subscribe either if you are new to the channel. And shout out to the homie Digital Dust, man. He said that he's digging the camera angles, man. He says you don't look as small on the chair, you know, when we on our main camera like that. So shout out to you, man. You know what I mean? You're looking good in the building, man.
How do I look?
You look good, man. You look comfy. You used to look little. You don't look little anymore, man. You like a big dog over there, man. And then we get you on the
sloucher, man.
Then we get you on your solo vibe, man. You know what I'm saying? You look good, man. You know what I'm saying? You the man.
Oh yeah, that's
you the man. You the man. Angle. And then for me, man, you know, I like to just be a little. I can't help myself. I like to look at myself on occasion. Okay, I need the morale boost.
This is clean. Yeah.
So you know what I mean? Just something a little light. You know what I mean?
Are these the same cameras you have been using? What's going on? They look more clear. Is it the lighting?
It's the lighting, baby. Yeah. They say you get some lighting in here, man. You know, you can make it right.
Like 4K.
You know what I mean? So I just try to dibble and dabble a little. I've been in the lab.
This is nice to plant too.
I've been in. Come on, man. Try to add a little something in here, man.
Yeah.
Deke, man. I'm trying to take us up higher and higher and higher. You know what I mean? And we still gonna be adding on some decorations. We still ain't figured it all the way out just yet, but
I still got the sticker on my laptop.
Yeah, integrity matters, man. It matters, baby. Come on, man. I'm not gonna lie. I started to get me a sticker too. I was like, I guess this they gonna be seeing my laptop.
I should probably take that off. I don't deserve to have that sticker unless I play Madden.
But you've earned it though. You don't lose the badge after earning the badge. You keep the badge. You just don't get a new badge.
Okay.
Yeah, we got to look at the 2025 badges. Put yours on like pause for a little bit. Yeah.
All right, you want to hit these supers?
Yeah, man, let's tap in, man. Let's tap in. And shout out to Greg Giger. He says, man, the new studio is fire. And he was like, yo, we can add more plants. Hannibal says the plant is a nice touch. He says, but put that Moats pick back on the wall. Hey, look, I'm so back and forth on wall decor right now, man. My little guy is like, yo, Dad, put all your jerseys up in here. Then he's like, yo, why don't you put your pictures up in here? Then I'm kind of like, well, I kind of like it, like, I don't know.
Simplistic.
Just simple, yeah. Something like I don't know this shit, man. Yeah, so we still figuring out all of that, man. But yeah, I said for right now, man, this will work. This will work. But yeah, let's tap in, man. Get these supers rolling.
No Bill stuff on my side.
Tom J said the Josh Allen poster is incoming. I could just see the MVP because if he wins MVP, that picture of him scoring the first throwing and catching your own touchdown, that one he dives in the stuff, I'm gonna do that one just right over Deke's head. All right, and every time we solo shout out Deke, it just bam, just right here, just diving on him, man.
I'm tearing that thing down. Okay, Antonio Jackson says, do you guys believe Arthur Smith when he says he won't continue to run plays that haven't been working?
Yes and no. I think it's a mix. I don't think it's as simple as, all right, the dive play through the A gap, they got tackled for 0 yards. It didn't work. We're not going to call that again. I don't think that's the case, but I do think if you're talking about trying to call certain certain scheme plays or certain like this is a play we like just versus this team, I don't think he's going to call that as frequently if he's already seen it's not working.
Noriega, rat turds by 30. He's one of those guys right now.
Ew.
Bills will win the Super Bowl this year. Steelers will be enjoying Cancun with the Bengals after tomorrow. Team Fields or bust.
Okay.
He's one of those guys.
Shout out to Cancun. Shout out to Cancun. Nothing wrong with Cancun.
He sounds like my buddy, actually. My buddy texted the group message saying, like, hey, we doing anything for the last game of the season this weekend?
Oh, that's weird, man.
I said, you know what? If we win,
do you get to celebrate next week?
No, I said
y'all
you don't get.
Right?
He said you don't get to watch next game.
Yeah, y'all don't get to watch.
And he
next
said
week.
Deal. No, so he said deal, but then he came back to me like trying to make a bet where maybe I got to do something if the Steelers lose. He says, if they lose though, you got to do Miami Marlins content on your page for a full week.
Oh, that stank.
I was like,
that stank.
That's funny. Like I appreciate him coming up with that, but I don't feel like that's equal.
I would agree. That's definitely
him
not
just
equal.
Not watching the Steeler game next week versus me doing a full week of Miami
to like
Marlins.
Work against my brand. Like that's counterproductive to the efforts.
Business.
Yeah, that's way different. Yeah, I'm with you, bro.
You could just you could watch the game afterwards.
Yeah, you could rewatch it the next day if you wanted to.
You'll know exactly what happened.
Right. I'm like, you don't necessarily lose out on anything except the emotional and the fun of actually watching it. That's going to negatively impact you, man. I'm with you, Deke. Bump that one. That ain't a fair trade.
D Steeler Nation, did you guys see the Ravens fans stomping on the terrible tire after they beat us in Week 17? Here we go.
Hey, man, you know what time it is, and if that's the case, man, let's get it after it. Let's get after them. Let me get one earlier, man. Let's go UW. He says the main issue, in his opinion, is he semi-trusts the defense to not be a total mess. But the main issue is he doesn't trust the offense to still hold up its end of the bargain. So far, I mean, these past 4 games, the offense hasn't performed to the best or the most consistent or from a most or being consistent, but they still have had some positives out there. They still have had opportunities late in these games to, oddly enough, find a way, especially that Bengals game, man. So as much as I could understand the lack of trust, I just don't think that for the people that do trust or do have some belief that it's without some type of validation with it.
I just don't know what to expect from either side at this point.
And I think that's fair too.
I think there's been certain points in the season where you trust the defense more than the offense and the offense more than the defense.
Well, we've talked about
at this point after these last 4 games, I don't know what to expect. I think the defense found a little bit something in the Bengals game, but who's to say that they're able to keep it up in this one? I think the signs are there. I like our chances with us being fully healthy and traditionally what we've done against the Ravens in recent years and against Lamar. So I like that. And then with the offense, it's like, man, it's been a minute where we've put together like an all-around good performance. Yeah. Now, I've seen some decent things in the Eagles-Ravens game and even, like you said, second half of this Bengals game. But it's like they haven't been able to really like put it all together because of turnovers and I think some shoddy game plans at times. Did we learn from that?
We're going to find out.
Yeah, I mean, I think we got the players, we got the talent. So let's see if we put it together, man.
Yeah, we're going to find out. All right, let's get back to these here.
Daniel Coleman need to nuke the wide receiver room after the season. GP, CA, and Russell Wilson, I'd keep.
Respect.
That's not much of a nuke, then.
It is, though.
That's not a nuke.
He's trying to, like, add
nuke would
more,
be Trey Pickens.
Or Calvin. Yeah. He's like,
that's not a nuke. Oh, I'm going to keep our top 2 guys, but get rid of
everybody else. He's like, yo.
I would do the same thing, actually.
Yeah, he's like, wash the rest of the room out, keep those 2, and
I don't think that's
good.
a nuke. What would you call that?
It's a deep cleanse.
Yeah,
it'd be a
that's
deep
what
cleanse.
I would call it.
It would be
not
a deep cleanse. Yeah.
Nuke is basically what we did with the quarterback room last year.
They
whole fresh
nuked
room.
that thing. Yeah, facts.
Says pick up 2 or 3 in the draft and in free agency. Use a first or second to pick up a free agent. Love Egbuka from Ohio State.
Oh, okay.
Receiver class is kind of weak this year from what I was looking at. Like he's supposed to be
one of the bigger,
a first-round guy in this, and he's not one of those top Ohio
I'm
State type of receivers.
He's no Jeremiah. Yeah.
No. I think they've had Marvin Harrison come out of there, Garrett Wilson, and Olave.
And we're waiting on Jeremiah.
Maybe he's more on like that Olave type of line.
Yeah. He's still nice, though. Olave's still good.
He's good.
Yeah.
Hannibal Moats, did you see that TG is going to be Vex DC?
You better believe
the
it.
green and gold NSU. I love it, and I love it.
Behold the green and the gold. Deke.
Is that the saying?
Yeah, man, because it's HBCU. They green and they gold. You got hot eye. You got fire and ice. And come on that thing. Ba-bum. Ba-dum. Ta-dum. Send the talking out the side of your neck.
That's a pretty good beat.
The side of your neck.
I like that.
Bro, when I tell you they play that, and it gets like, yeah.
Okay.
Just shut it all down, man. It's about to go nuts. You can even pull them up on YouTube. Ready? Bro, it's just a vibe, bro. You got to be Friday. You got to know, bro. But it's absolute vibe, man. Shout out to the Norfolk State people out there, man.
Fish Momentum, Moats, Deke, and Chat Fam beat the Ravens.
Hey, he said it's that simple, man. Beat them.
Greg Yeager, at how many years do we draw the line with no Tomlin playoff wins?
Ooh.
8, 9, 10, or 15?
Well, let's find out. Let's see what happens, man. I know everybody's so, like, pressed or writing the eulogy and, oh, man, it's already lost, it's already done. What happens if he loses again? What happens if say, well, what if he doesn't?
Yeah.
Then what? Does that change? If this game is so like the indictment, this is the plant the flag, this is where we're going to figure out the hill we're going to die on. Well, does that mean if he wins, then we should give him the extension and everything should be great and we should never talk about it again? Because That's the feelings I get when we put so much on. Oh, this game right here, this game right here, this game right here. It's like, all right, well, we're gonna say this game right here as if it's to that extent. Just know when he wins it, all right, we shouldn't hear any more of this fire Tomlin. He's lost it. He don't have it. If it's that. Me personally, I don't think it is. I think that if he does lose, though, it's going to get extremely loud, and I think it starts that process of you're not going to be able to have another one. I think of it that way, but I don't look at it as, man, you're going to get fired if you lose on here on Saturday. The same way I don't look at it as if you win on here on Saturday, he about to get another crazy extension either. I just think that this is still a big part of the journey, though, in terms of how much longer he's here. But the dude still won 10 games. Wait, let's not get that twisted. At this level, when you have a proven CEO, which is Coach Tomlin, the guy that routinely is winning with any of these guys that aren't unicorns at quarterback, those are the guys that teams put premiums on. Hence the reason why Mr. Rooney ignores a lot of the suggestions of firing or trading Coach T, because he knows what he has in that man, regardless of how we feel on it on a week-to-week basis, where the emotions could have us 4 weeks ago hollering about he should be coach of the year, and now 4 weeks later we hollering about, oh yeah, he should be fired or traded. We need to change the scenery.
Life comes
like, bro, how does that happen in the exact same season? It's not a 4-game season, right? How many is it? 6 games in the season? How many games in the season? So in that same season, we're hollering about he should be coach of the year, and now we say, oh yeah, man, how much longer does he have left? Man, we should fire this dude straight. It's like, yeah, y'all stay on that side. Just stay right there. Just keep yelling about it, man. Mr. Rooney know what he got. Until it's different. And I think that context does matter. I know people brought up Andy Reid. Oh, he got fired in Philadelphia. Yeah, look at the context of it as well. Man, Bill Belichick got fired in New England. Yeah, look at the context of why he got fired. Man, they moved on from Pete Carroll in Seattle. Yeah, look at the context. Coach Tomlin hasn't got to that stage just yet. He hasn't. Now, we can see where it goes in this next year or two, but to me and to the guys that are clearly there right now, that's not how they're viewing him. So we'll see, man.
Yeah, I think that's where I'm at. Obviously, it'd be stupid to fire Tomlin before this playoff game.
Hit him with the mayo. Get him up out of there.
But, yeah, things can swing pretty hard one way or another here. And I wouldn't be in the boat. Like, if we lose this game, maybe it depends on how it looks. If we get blown out like 50-0, right, that's a different story. That's a different story, but I don't think that's going to happen. But if we lose this game, it's just like the defense for keeping him becomes tougher. Yeah, I'm not saying I'm not calling for fire Tomlin, because I don't think I would go that far where I'm like, oh, I for sure guarantee with us firing Tomlin that everything's going to be better. But I'm way more open to moving on at that point. Like I think the defense is tougher, and I could see a path of where I'm saying to myself, yeah, maybe both sides do just need a clean slate, and we need to get another guy in here. Yeah. And as simple as that. And I don't think you're wrong for that. And that's the other thing. I mean, we're not moving off of Tomlin. That's the other thing. So it's almost like a moot point. We're not moving off of Tomlin. There's no way after we gave him the extension and stuff. And I think also, man, and after that, man, we'll get back to these supers, man. I think that 3 minutes. Yeah, I would say we can get right back to these supers after that. But I think the big thing with the Coach T thing is this: people want it to be so negative to validate firing him. Man, we should just go 3-4, then we could do it. It's like, yeah, but you're not 3-4. So that's not the conversation that you have. Man, we're going to be 1 and done again. Well, let's see if we're going to be 1 and done. Man, we're only going to win 7 games this year. We did it. We won 10. So it's like, yo, let's let him actually fail before we try to hang him. Essentially, not in the literal sense, but y'all know what I mean. It's like, man, we want to just go ahead and kill him off before we actually see him die. Like, let him die. If it die, he die. Then from there, yeah, man, we'll be all in here together. Yeah, man, it's time to roll over, man. It was a heck of a job, man. Shout out to Coach T. It's not an indictment. It would be an indictment on Coach T or the Steelers organization. It's just sometimes you need to part ways. Yeah, Tom could have success elsewhere, and we could have success with a new coach. Yeah. Like the Eagles did with Andy Reid. Mm-hmm. You know, it's sometimes you just hit that point. But we're not that. I get why the conversation's happening right now with how the season ended 10-7 again, with all different cast of characters, all these changes we made this offseason. We're still 10-7, wild card game going on the road, but we still have this game in front of us. That's why we can't go all the way there just yet. Yeah. And even if we do lose, I don't know if I will be all the way there, depending on how it looks. But I would be open to moving off for the clean slate. I don't think Rooney does it. I think if Coach T had a 5-win season or a 6-win season, I think all of that's on the table. I think, has his message gone stale?
Has he lost the locker room? Is he no longer ahead of the curve? And all, I think if he had a 5 or 6 win season, all of that is valid, right? Not you specifically, but like I think a lot more would be valid. The dude got 10 wins. The playoffs was locked up 4 weeks ago. He had 10 wins the year before that with Kenny Pickett, who we just said, man, Tanner McKee might have just took his spot. It's like he still was 10 wins. He still was finding ways. So, yeah. Shout out to him, though, man. Shout out. All right.
I'd say it's more of an accomplishment getting that 10 wins with Mitch being the quarterback for like 3 of those games.
He had 3 different quarterbacks, man.
I know, but we were 7-4 with Kenny.
Yeah,
and then Mitch went, 0-3?
3 different quarterbacks in that process, man. It's
T-Bone all top gave us a couple bucks.
Shout out to T-Bone, man. Showing love, man. We appreciate you from the heart.
Let's see. Greg Yeager says, I'd love to hear the argument against Tomlin not living in his fears after saying when you don't pass, you're less likely to have turnovers. Imagine Campbell saying that.
I mean, we can nitpick the wordplay, and I mean, we'll do that for the sake of semantics, but from my perspective, what he's basically saying is this, man, you're not going to just be doing dumb stuff for the sake of doing dumb stuff. But if you go out here and you're too scared to cut it loose, or you're too scared to be thoughtfully aggressive or situationally aggressive, then yeah, you're living in your fears. That's what he said. But it's like we could, play like, oh, well, you said this and then you did that. It's like, all right, man, if that's the case, then nobody's ever going to be, to the standard of what we think it is. But if we actually would look at it with a little bit more levels to it, then yeah, you'll see exactly what he said.
James Kitka, Moats and Deke, I've been thinking about the offensive stuff all week. What about our D? Cam looked great last game. Yeah. TJ, though, we got to go after Lamar from the beginning, right? Mm-hmm. Your thoughts, please.
No, 1,000%, man. And I think TJ's going to be fired up. You've heard him talking about the playoffs he wants to win. That's his big thing. He hasn't had any playoff success.
Hopefully he was just playing shitty these last 4 games so he saved it up for the playoffs.
We're going to find out. But he said he wanted, that's his name.
Maybe that's been his problem. He's been too focused on the depoy, wearing himself out in the regular season.
Yeah, it's playoff time.
Obviously, I'm joking, but who knows?
I hope he was he might be pacing himself, man. I just need a loud game from TJ this week, man. Give me a loud game, TJ.
He hasn't been playing bad.
No, it just hasn't been loud. It's just been good.
Yeah, he made some good plays in this Bengals game, but you're just like,
if it's any other player not named TJ, we're like, yo, you're playing great.
We're starting to get old Minka back.
Yeah, but we're getting
TJ.
Yeah, I'm with you.
Benny Guavo, I dream about what TJ and Shazier would have been.
No, facts, man. That would have been so crazy.
Greg Yeager says, start Fields if we're not going to let Russ throw.
I think we all in the same sentiment with that one.
It's fair.
Yeah.
If the offense is going to look like what it did for those 3 quarters against the Bengals, just throw Fields in there then.
Yeah.
See what he can do with his legs. Yeah, see if he could do anything electric.
Hopefully it's not like that, but if it is, yeah.
Right. Remix, rooting for a team to lose is nasty work. Fake fan energy.
Call him out. He said, man, stop rooting against the Bills, man. That's bad for us, man. It's bad mojo.
He's not talking about that.
That's what he's talking. He's specifically talking about that. He's saying it's bad mojo, bro.
That's fine work.
He said that's terrible mojo, man. You got to do that, bro. You got to stop that, man. It's crazy.
Richard Arbizo, prayers and love for the families affected by the fires. Need to keep faith and positivity
man.
During these hardships to get our city back and better.
Nah, without a doubt, man. LA, that's crazy. It's happening out there right now, man. So definitely thoughts and prayers to everybody that has been negatively impacted by that. I would also, man, I forgot, man. I should have said this at the beginning too, man. Thoughts and prayers to Chris Hogue, though, man. Y'all obviously know Hokie Bro, man, former Pittsburgh Steelers Super Bowl champion. His wife had passed away, man, earlier this week, man. And, that's a tough one on him, man, and his family like that, man. But, definitely, man, send y'all love over to him, man. Send y'all thoughts over to him, man. Anytime you lose anybody, let alone a wife, his significant other, I couldn't imagine it, man. But like I said, man, definitely send y'all love to the homie as well, man. So, yeah, man, it's a lot of that going on right now, man. It's the world, man. So you got to enjoy what you got, man, while you have it, baby. Yeah. Holy smokes.
Skirt, would a team run a more simple offense after clinching a playoff position to put less on tape so they may be able to surprise teams with a more complex style come the playoffs? Do teams do things like that?
So, I mean, in theory, I see what you're trying to get to. I like the mindset.
We still had a chance to win the division and get the 1 seed in those last 4 games.
I like the mindset. We had a lot to play for. We just didn't win, man. I think when you lose and you lose the games that we lost, man, you start trying to figure out ways to make yourself feel better about it. So you minimize the importance of it. You minimize your care for it, right? Man, I ain't care about the 4 games. I wasn't even trying that hard. Man, I was more focused on this. Man, I don't care if we lost that one. Like,
if we won in the playoffs, you could say that. Go ahead and say that. You know, we didn't really care. We were on easy mode.
Right. But that's just seeking comfort, man. That's all that is, man. We know we was not executing for 4 quarters. We was turning the ball over, and we weren't getting the turnovers back, man. And, yeah, you do that versus good teams, which is what those 4 teams were. Yeah, that's how it's going to be, man.
Cliff the Dark Knight, how good would the Killer Bee offense be with this 2024 defense?
Oh, man, it'd be fired. But that's part of what makes the NFL the NFL. You don't get to just keep your great team, great pieces, and then go buy your other great players and great pieces and keep them all together. Typically, it's like, one side is going to be heavily, stocked, and the other side you're trying to, can we get enough out of this group, and while these stars over here do the rest? We've seen it shift these past couple of seasons where defense has been the ones with the resources and all of that and the expectations to keep it afloat. And the offense is like, can you guys just do enough? But yeah, man, you obviously want the team that could have let me get peak Chiefs offense, Mahomes, Kelsey, Tyreek Hill, that group. But with that Super Bowl defense from the Eagles game that was out there trying to make some plays out there.
Or even the defense they got right now. This might be their best defense yet.
Like, seriously, I'm like, if you put them together, like, yeah. So imagine you give us the 08 Steelers defense with the 2016 Killer Bee offense or 2015 Killer Bee offense. It's like, bruh, good luck. 2016, because 7 got hurt a little bit in 15. We missed some time with him in 15. Yeah.
That might have been one of his best years.
It was. He was
crazy
cooking.
about it.
It was definitely cooking, man.
I think he led the league in yards per game that year.
He was cooking.
Would have led the league in total passing yards if he didn't get hurt.
Yeah, AB would have had the 2K.
Absolutely. Yeah, that was a wild year.
Yep.
That's it for the Supers.
All right. So, Deke, we're at 25. We are going to do it, okay?
What?
I got 5 hard minutes,
for
man.
Picks?
We got 5 hard minutes, man.
For
5
picks?
hard minutes. Let's do it, man. All right. I'm going to update all the graphics real quick. Let's get these picks in. All right. Because like I said, we are. Oh, I hit the wrong button. No. Let me get that bike real quick. There it is. Oh, yeah. So let's preview this thing real quick. All right. Let's get our preview going in terms of where the game picks are. Heck yeah. We only got a couple games, man. So you pull up.
I'm up 5.
You're not up 5. You're not up 5.
I thought that's what you said.
No. I said you're up. Yeah, you might be up 5. I did say you up 5.
Because we split.
I did say you up 5.
Split again. Then
you're
we
right.
split back weeks.
That was my tripped out.
Okay.
I trip on occasion. So yes, man.
It's playoff time though.
We went 3-3 in week 18, man. I had Eagles -3. You had Giants +3. Eagles won. I had Bears +10. You had Packers -10. Bears hit. You had Patriots +2.5. I had Bills -2.5. Josh got the start. James Cook tied the franchise record for rushing touchdowns with OJ the Juice Simpson, 16 touchdowns, and he led all rushing touchdowns for running backs. That was really impressive. Shout out to him, but Bills did not cover. Cowboys +6, Commanders -6. Shout out to the Dallas Cowboys doing just enough. Jets +1. That's who you had. I had Dolphins -1, and obviously Tyreek walked
Rodgers
off.
Went out on a high note.
Tyreek left, and yeah, here I am. Yep. And then you had Lions -2.5. I had Vikings +2.5, and Sam Darnold let me down.
Lions said no chance we're losing this game.
Yeah. So as it stands, Deke is 65-60-4. I am 60-65-4. Oh, because of what? Week 13.
There was like a 2-week.
It was week 13.
Well, I came back.
Yeah, week 13 to week 14 is where it got weird for me, man. I went 2-8, 2 and something. Yeah, I had and that's when, that's where we are right now. So it's all good. But let's get these
Super Wildcard
picks, man.
3 AFC games in a row. They're starting it off with.
I like it too, man.
Texans at home +3 against the Chargers.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going Chargers -3.
I would have went Chargers as well. I think the Chargers gonna win the game. I think they're playing better. I think they're a better team.
All right, so we ain't picking.
I ain't tripping.
Steelers +9.5 against Ravens on the road.
We're on the same page with that one.
You don't want to take the Ravens just to.
You should take the Ravens.
Try to get the picks.
You should take the Ravens, man.
Try to make the comeback.
You should take the Ravens, man.
I'm not,
because I can get a comeback with you picking bad too, man.
I got Steelers money line already. I think I might dabble.
That don't even sound right to me, man.
Get some money on the points too. Okay, so no picks on the first 2.
Yeah.
I guess
I got Bills. So we got one. There it is. All right.
I gotta take.
We got one.
I think the Bills do
No,
cover this. I do. I actually do.
Come on.
For principle, I gotta take the Broncos.
Come on. Yep.
8.5.
There it is. All right. Now let's get to the
I'm
NFC.
rooting for the Broncos not only to cover that, but flat out win this and go on the road next week against the Chiefs. Hopefully take them out too. That wouldn't be bad. Eagles -5.5 at home against the Packers. Wow, this one's a weird game.
I like Eagles in that, man.
Weird game. I do too, actually, because
Okay.
I think Packers are actually in a worse, weirder spot with Jordan Love's injury, no Christian Watson.
All good.
Going on the road. The Hurts concussion thing, though, you could be like, oh, is he coming in rusty? Is he going to be a little foggy? I'm not taking the Packers. I'm with you. I'm taking the Eagles.
All good.
Buccaneers at home -3
I'm
against
riding
the
with
Commanders.
Baker. I'm Baker dude, bro. Ride with Baker. You don't even like Baker, bro. You don't like Baker at all. So I don't even know why you're even considering Baker. And I stand on Baker. I'm like, man, that's my guy. I always do the planting the flag as a Baker, man.
Oh, my God.
Come on with it, baby. Come on with it.
I'll go Commanders.
I was about to say, yeah, man.
Jaden Daniels. I'll go with that.
I mean, Daniels playing hot. You think he wins Rookie of the Year?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. I didn't know if you thought Bo caught him at the end.
No.
All right.
Yeah, Daniels gets Rookie of the Year. I'm trying to Brock Bowers, actually. He's got a little case, too.
But quarterbacks, man. They
right.
love
Jaden Daniels he had an awesome year.
Yeah.
Already got
but
him
both
in my top
teams
10.
are in the playoffs, though.
Monday night, Rams at home, +2.5 against the Vikings. I'll go Rams.
I like Vikings. I was going to say,
Rams.
let me get the Vikings off of you, man.
That's only right. I've been picking Rams a lot this year. You've been picking Vikings.
Yeah, we're on the same page. I like your integrity. That's what you got to keep the thing up there, man. You
got
integrity, bro.
That's a legit pick for me, too.
Yeah.
I do think the Rams are going to win.
Yeah.
I think Vikings after that last game, Darnold, confidence, little shot.
And see, for me, I can take losing this game if I'm losing with the team that I've been picking all year. If I've been rocking with my receivers, Justin Jefferson, Jordan Addison, I can deal with that.
So we have 3 games then?
Yeah, 3 so far. Yeah, and that's because that's all the wild card right now.
That's it.
Yeah, so that's all we need, man. And then from there, like I said, man, 1 week at a time. It's only 5. It ain't like we talking about double digits. So I don't have to go out there and get it all this week. I got some games coming up. So I'm feeling good. So shout out to the homie Jaron Pittsburgh Steelers for life.
Unless
we always appreciate you, man.
I'm not willing to do that.
Yeah, I'm good on that.
We've stuck with pro NFL.
Keep it pro, bro. Let's keep it pro, NFL. Man. We're keeping it pro. So yeah,
can't jump ship.
So for Jaron, man, Pittsburgh Steelers for life, man. The update. I have the Buffalo Bills, obviously. Deke is rolling with the Broncos. He believes in Sean Payton and company. I'm going to go with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Deke is going to go with the Commanders. Then after that, I have the Minnesota Vikings, and the homie Deke is with them Rams. Hopefully, he has a very, very bad weekend. Okay? But that's where we at with this thing, man.
Bills cover that. But for principle, I guess I got to pick the Broncos.
I like it. I like it. Off a general principle. I like that, man. I like that. All right, we got one final super that just came in as well. We'll get that. And then after that, man, we will let y'all get on with y'all pregame festivities because it is a game tomorrow, man. And I know y'all got stuff going on. Hopefully y'all traveling to the spot. And if not, man, y'all be locked in. So either way.
Greg Yeager, in the last 5 playoff games, Steelers have been outscored 66-0 in the first quarter. And Tomlin claims the start of games aren't as important after, and then goes 0-17 on opening touchdown drives this year.
He said he claims the start of games isn't as who said that? Once again, Greg, you getting caught up on the wordplay, baby. Just because it isn't as important as the fourth quarter, the final 2 minutes of the game, that doesn't just mean that
it's still important.
It's an absolute, that's what I was saying earlier.
I agree with that. I do think later in the game is
it does
more crunch
more.
time. It's more winning time.
Right.
But you know, what you do in the first quarter does affect the game. Yes.
Yeah. But you're taking it and like looking for the negative in it. And that's what I was saying earlier, man. It's like if you're looking to nitpick every little word or every little thing, then you're going to do that with every coach and every player. You're never going to be satisfied. But if you're, looking at it with a little bit more context and you're showing that, you are capable of kind of peeling back the layers of the statement, it is valid. Fourth quarter, we call it crunch time. Why? Because that's when the game is typically winding down, when all the pressure is mounting to the highest. And why is that? Because in the first quarter, you can be down 28-3 in the Super Bowl and you can still come back. You can't be down 28-3 with 0 seconds on the fourth quarter and come back, right? That's not how it works. You can't be down 28-3 in the fourth quarter with the minute left on the clock and come back. But you can be down 28-3 in the first quarter, the second quarter, heck, even in the third quarter sometimes, and come back.
I think they were down 28-3
They
in the
were,
third quarter.
yeah. So when we're talking about the actual statement, it's not wrong. But if you're looking to like do I gotcha, then yeah, you could look at this statement and solely focus on the start of the game isn't as important as the end, and because we're 66-0 and in terms of points scored against us versus points scored, this is the reason why. And it's like, sure, man, if that's what you're going to minimize it as, then man, I hope it works out for you. But I think there's just a lot more context with that, man. And yeah, I think both things could be true. We could want to score more. We can want to start faster while still acknowledging that, yeah, the end of the game still is a lot more important than the start of the games. And even when you hear Coach Tomlin, he doesn't talk about running away from the starts of the game. In fact, you've heard him every week these past 4 games specifically talking about, man, we are actively trying to figure out how to start faster offensively. We are actively trying to do different things to start faster on offense. And we've pointed out the different ways they went about it to the point where we thought this week was a negative because they kept running the ball too much. We like, hey, man, you ain't got to do that now, right? That's a change, though. Is that not a change? That's a change. We've seen, all right, we're going to try to throw it. Hey, man, that ain't working right now either. All right, hold on. So it's like, yeah, they trying different things. Oh, we're having success, but holding penalty. We're having success, but self-inflicted. So that's kind of how I look at it right now. But as a whole, man, we don't have to solely try to be, negative. What is this? I got you. It's like, yo, it's okay to just be like, yo, I want more of this while still appreciating this too. And yeah, I think we'll do that a lot easier once we win on Saturday, man. That'll calm a lot of it down and we'll be able to enjoy it the way that we're supposed to versus
some of it.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say
fully. It ain't gonna go all the way. It ain't gonna go all the way. Until you win the Super Bowl again, yeah, it's always gonna have somebody out here. And then even if you win it, you ain't win it enough. It ain't look cool enough.
Well, I'll say this. I think definitely if we make it to the AFC Championship, I don't think there's any talk about firing Tomlin.
If you don't win it, because I was here when we lost the AFC Championship game.
I think those people are just the extreme.
Okay, because I was like, yeah, bro. Yeah, they had, man, the way that they had us feeling after our AFC Championship loss to the team that won the Super Bowl, we was like, bro, you would have thought we won 3 games. That's how it felt.
Oh, really?
Boy, I swear, heck yeah.
I mean, we had Kobe Hamilton as our number 2 receiver. I think the defensive performance wasn't top notch in that. I don't think the strategy was that great.
No,
I would
and that was also a part of it, yeah.
I don't know. We went in there kind of limping, and it was tough.
But it was also the end of a, 13-game winning streak. We also forget that part. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it is what it is, though, man. All right, but yeah, we do got to get up out of this thing. Holy smokes. But, where you got this weekend, man? Where you at? Where you streaming? I know you ain't in Baltimore. If you pull up to Baltimore, you ain't pull up to a Steelers game in Pittsburgh, the fans are going, they're going to get you. I know you. I
think that would actually be the realest thing to do.
Oh, they would find you. And
playoff game going on the road.
Yeah.
Putting my comforts aside.
Yeah.
I think that'd be the realest thing, though. I think they'd appreciate that.
Yeah.
What if I did?
Yeah.
No, I'm not going to be there, unfortunately. Hopefully we get this home playoff game in the AFC Championship, though. That'd be nice. I'll definitely be there, I promise. I don't know what I'm doing for the game. I kind of got some flexibility in this one. Could live stream it. Could live stream after. I don't know. I'm not sure. Because I'm not going to be on Bleacher. I got a new schedule with them. So we'll see. Just stay tuned. I don't know what I'm doing.
Respect. All right. My man says stay tuned, man. You might see him, you might not, but either way, be locked in, man. And shoot,
I'm going to go over to my friend's house, might live stream from there after the game. Might bring the packs back.
I'm going to figure out my schedule, man. Like I said, I still need a couple more days of settling in, and then I'm going to get back to regular schedule programming. But yeah, other than that, though, man, that will do it then for today's show. Hopefully y'all enjoyed it, man. If you did, don't forget to hit that like button one time and subscribe if you are new to the channel. But either way, stay safe out there, and until next time, baby.
Peace.